Greetings, Metanthropes. I'm RxOliver, and these are my friends. Tonight we're playing session 3 of Metanthropes Anthologies. I'm here with Chris, Brew, Martin, and the one and only Mr. John Legitimine. I will hand it over to you, John. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Oliver. Dear audience, make sure you subscribe and press the notification on RxOliver's button. I am John. We're here today to play Metanthropes Anthologies Episode 3 with this amazing, super amazing cast that I have. So privileged to have. And yeah, the first couple of sessions in this new saga basically has been a glorified extended introductory session where we get to know our protagonist a little bit better, since there's going to be a lot of character development in this one. But from today and moving forward, we are going together to uncharted territories. We're gonna see new dimensions, gonna see new timelines, new stories, and all this part of all this content that you're gonna see from here now on is me basically preparing for the next Kickstarter that's gonna involve these stories. With that being said, all the characters, the stories, the dialogues, the descriptions, and the module itself, the modules are gonna be vastly improved by the time that this Kickstarter goes live in February. So it's a bit too early to start promoting this, but I'm really thankful that I have this amazing cast to test everything and see where this can take us. I do have some disclaimers to say. First of all, you can use the on our metanthropes.com/store the promo code, the coupon code on your checkout, RX5, that's big R, small x, and a 5 to get a 5% discount on all our products for as long as this saga stands. Our game is in early access. Everything is being still developed. I am Greek. I'm not an English native speaker. I will attempt some weird and difficult accents today. I hope I won't insult anyone. And as for the game itself, is intended for mature audiences, and we might see, let's go to the content warning, violence, foul language, guns, knives, lightning, fire, death. There's going to be a lot of death probably today because we're going to the lands of the dead. Mind controlling, mind reading, mind bending, spirits, reality warping, psychic whispers. I know you like this one, Oliver. Turning into a tree, cosmic horrors, and breaking the fourth wall, amongst others. I think that's about with our introductions. So let's get into the previously on Anthologies. A new coalition of Metanthropes was forged under the guidance of the enigmatic conductors of the Veil. Tasked with assignments that span across timelines and dimensions, our Metanthrope protagonists embark on their inaugural mission, a journey to the ancient library of Alexandria. Their destination, the dimension of Nether, the realm of what was, but is no more. There, they must confront a powerful Metanthrope whose secret experiments demand the Coalition's investigation. Their mission is closely watched by the unseen forces that orchestrate the cosmic symphonies, weaving their destiny into something far greater than they realize. Now, as you can see on our FoundryVTT module, I have moved your characters in the backstage of the opera. We are in a very short downtime of a couple of days that the conductors of the Veil will allow you to get to know each other, process all this massive exposition dump has been dropped on their shoulders, and this newfound reality basically that they're facing. They thought all this time that they were alone, special, gifted, isolated, but they found out that that's not the case at all. And And this backstage, like a weird room that you can find, like basically like a backstage of a theater. The props can be countless, much more than we can see possible on our screens. I have divided you. The big guy is on the big bed on the left. For some reason, Diego, if you find yourself on a sitting on a piano, I don't know if you play or not, but this is where I put you.
Maybe he plays a
and
little.
our girls are on the right, getting to know each other a little bit better. Now, since it's a downtime, it's like a couple of days at least, we're not gonna play every single second. I would like us to start by telling our audience a little bit, just a brief introduction of who you're playing, and most importantly, how did you spend your experience, if you choose to spend any. And furthermore, after we go through the experience spending and the technicalities and increasing your meta powers and stuff, I want to tell us how, what did you share with the other coalition members about yourself. But before we go that, let's get to the technical stuff. Let's start with who's ready actually to spend their XP.
I don't mind spent.
Yeah, me too. I pressed a button and then they nearly all got wiped out.
Go ahead, because I've not looked at mine. I'm just looking at mine now.
Chris, you go first.
I'll talk you through what decisions I made. So as the only person who can actually hit or hurt anything, I decided to put nearly everything into par.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So,
I saw it.
So we've capped out par at level 5 now. So we're now 100 par.
You have 100. Congratulations, the first player that has 100 in the stat. That means that if it is a power roll, you don't need to make it. You say automatic success. If you do try to make it, there's gonna be additional, but everything that strength involved, you can just do it, unless it's like it's a congratulations for reaching 100.
No worries. Other than that, I put a little bit into reflexes, so that we could adjust that as well. I thought being a wrestler, it would be a very good attribute to have. And then within that, then I went to my perks and I looked at my skills and I thought, do you know what? I'm awful lacking on being able to drive anything. So I thought operation would be, a good thing, using heavy machinery,
Cool.
Get a little bit of expertise from my old job working in the docks. Let's just say that slower now.
Cool. Yeah, since you have like a couple of days in downtime mode, you can increase your skills 1 or maybe 2 levels up to that, but no knowledge, because it requires much more to increase medicine overnight. That's kind of impossible, unless you have like meta intelligence or something similar meta powers. But yeah, I think you're all good, Hulk the Sword Zoro, with your 100 stat. Congratulations. So who's next?
I can go next.
All right, Tina.
Since I'm the only person in our party that can taste things and be clairvoyant, since we want to point things out, I'm gonna up my meta perk to a level 4, which I think you have to do usually.
I have to do it. Yeah, core, meta powers, clairvoyance, and meta taste at level 4. You get remote taste. Bam. And I remove you automatically that XP. So you do have 425 more to spend on stats or operation or whatever else you want.
How much can I increase my operation by? Like, are you only saying 1 because it's only been a couple of days?
It depends if you, it's like, let me double check, but spending it, it's only 100, it's not a matter of experience, it's a matter of days that you're gonna spend there. So to increase it at level 1 is 1 day. To increase at level 2 is 2 more days. So it's up to you if you want to stay like 3 days there before you begin your first mission. Maybe you want to talk with the conductors, ask them lots of questions, get to know each other in depth, but that's not up to me, it's up to you as a group.
I want to stay an extra.
Fine with?
Yeah, I want to stay an extra day. I'm looking at mine yeah.
Alright, so I'll increase operation to 2.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna just sit on the rest of my points for a little bit.
Sure. Excellent. Aurora, are you ready, Aurora?
Yeah, I played with mine and figured something out because I'm incredibly stupid. And so I was like, I wonder what happens if I put points in manipulation. So I just put everything in it and nearly wiped myself out. But I had a few points left, so I put some in body and soul. And I didn't realize if you put it in that, it increases your other stats a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, I probably should have done that instead. But anyway, I'm happy. I like the.
Cool. It's like the power gamer's journey to increase everything, and then the costs are higher later. There are options. There is no wrong way to do it. You do have an 84 manipulation, which is pretty good, pretty great, and yeah, I think you're also perfectly fine and ready to go. So that leaves us with Diego del Toro.
Is it okay to spend 1,000 points on knowledge and skills if we've only increased by a maximum of +2 on each?
Unfortunately, not any knowledge, because it requires like months instead of days to increase any knowledge without meta powers.
So the knowledge ones I can only put up by +1. Oh wait, I've only done academics +1, medicine. No, I've done that +2, so I need to bring that down one.
Yeah, though needs to be turned to their original scores. They're gonna be bigger downtimes later in the story.
Right, let me
But
put them
for
all
now,
back
just
to what
have
they were on then.
Few days.
I'm going to have to put them all the way back then. So, can I spend a couple of days just doing medicine then? And can I get one level in that?
Unfortunately,
Oh no, that's
nothing
a
from
knowledge,
this list.
yeah.
Nothing from
So
this list.
but the
of
skills
knowledge.
ones I can
Only-
do. So I could train artistry and athletics.
Yeah, if you want, or
Okay.
expertise or operation or weapons. I don't know.
Can I do one in each? One in artistry and one in athletics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me, what's your artistry focus? Like, you don't need to have like a specific. But so what's?
Football.
Is it piano? Is
No,
it piano?
It's football. It's the beautiful game. So although he trains athletically, he also trains things like
nice.
keepy-ups and skills, and he does skill stuff, artistic stuff with a football. That's his art.
You have like a spherical approach
Yeah.
to this sport. It's your passion.
I quite like the idea of maybe starting to learn piano as well, though, because we have one here. He spent a couple of days around one. Let's say he's trained athletics. He's done athletics and artistry, so he's actually spent some time learning the piano, and he's done athletics. So he's done physical training. Let me just
Perfect. So,
get
our
rid of
Metanthrope protagonists, after they've been introduced to the multiverse, to the concept of dimensions and multiversal factions, and countless other Metanthropes out there, but also spirits and weird fungi, tree, machine, creatures, alien, whatever those things, whatever else exists out there. Our session officially begins with them sitting on the backstage of the opera. We can actually hear Diego playing a few notes on the piano. The big guy Hulk is resting on a big bed, and the girls on the right on a sofa. I would like you to tell me, in a downtime mode, most likely, how much and what did you share about yourself with the others from the coalition? Whether that would be personal information, or my meta powers are this and that, more tactical stuff, or maybe first let's go with what sort of interactions you had with each other, and then we shall see if we had any with NPCs.
Okay, so Diego doesn't tell them his big secret for a start. Doesn't tell anybody that at this point. He'll tell them about the accident though, and how he got his meta power. It'll be the first time he talked about his meta power to anybody. So, I think he'd gravitate towards Hawk, because him and Hawk got beaten up together very recently. So that was a bit of a male bonding experience for us. So I think that'd be the first person who would open up to him. But being a fellow athlete as well, I guess that's probably the icebreaker. They saw me training physically and we started a conversation, and I've opened up to him about the accident, the collision of heads, and how I got my meta power and what I can do. I won't tell him what I've done with it in the past, but I'll tell him what I can do with it. And he'll be the first person I've told about it.
How does Hulk? What does Hulk share in return, actually?
I put a couple more points in stats as well, John.
Hawk
yeah.
is pretty much in a mind of his own. He's not really listening because he's so tired from the previous fight. So he's pretty much like half awake, just moaning and groaning along to whatever Diego's telling him, thinking about his own hardship rather than this guy that he's barely known or knows nothing about and couldn't help him in a fight.
Tried.
He did help, but
I tried.
He threw a couple of thumbtacks. Come on, like that's not helping.
Have you come out of your baby form? Because didn't you transform into a child or like a toddler or something?
Toddler. I'm out of
sorry.
toddler form. I'm back to normal.
Yeah, let's say all your conditions and full life, it's been a downtime, you're fully healed and fully, no need to worry anything about it. Remove all your conditions, you're perfectly fine. So, did you?
I kind of want to throw a ball at Diego just to see if, he does anything. Like a ball goes past him.
Interesting. Do you do anything to the ball? Because you haven't kicked the ball in quite a while, I would reckon, right?
Yeah, so he will... What he'll do is, right, he'll let the ball go over his head, but then he'll do like a back heel and do a keepy up and bring it back over the front. Do a couple of keepy ups, kick it back and forward, over the back, over the front, over the back, over the front. And then one time when it goes over the back, he'll not move any feet, and the ball will just like bounce mid-air and come back over, so he's just showing him his meta power. Showing him a little skill, a little trick.
Does Hulk share any of his mysterious, even for me, background in the ship?
No,
On the ship,
he kind of keeps it to himself at this point because he doesn't feel that anyone else has experienced what he has, because everyone else, like Diego has told him that it's stumbled upon him, after a tragic accident, whereas mine just feels conceited, and it's also a thing that I was very much judged for, in fact why I was banned from my sport. So it's not something that I'd be willing to shout about.
That's why I didn't
I
tell
like
you
it.
what
You're keeping your cards to yourself. It's only been a couple of days since you know each other.
Yeah.
How about Aurora? What did you share with the rest?
I mean, I guess I would have been talking to Tina because, one, I don't think either of us think we probably have powers really, because didn't do that much. Yeah, I think I did. I think I turned my powers on. I don't think anyone's seen any of them apart from I can. No, nothing happened. She just did. She had a good chat with people though, so yeah, she doesn't need to tell anyone. But she does get her. She has like a little diary out, and it's got like the moon phases in it and like little witchy things in it. And she's kind of like flicking through it and like talking to Tina about she thinks maybe Mercury's in retrograde and that's where everything's fucked up. So she's talking to her about like some astrology type stuff to Tina, and I'm gonna say, did you do something? I'm trying to think. Would she know your powers? Because you licked something, didn't you? And then something happened. I can't remember.
I could just be weird.
Well, that's what I meant. So I'm like, how would I? I mean, yeah. I feel that I don't even know. I know she'd just be talking to you like a normal human. But yeah, she definitely would want to talk to you about. I think maybe you passed out. Yeah, you had to pass out for your powers, and then you started licking things. So she's just like, you okay? Maybe want to go to a pharmacy and maybe call your therapist. She's just making sure she's not like she's making sure you're just like a little bit crazy, not like full on you know.
She just kind of
Maybe
went
this
into a
time.
standing coma, didn't she?
Yeah, so Aurora's just trying to make sure that you are stable, and if you want her to phone your therapist or carer or whatever person looks after you. She's trying to be nice though. She's not being condescending. She's generally concerned that maybe you need some mental help or physical help.
Nice. How about Tina?
Right. So Tina would be pretty open. I think she's been pretty open about some of the things with her social life anyway. So she would have shared that her power seemingly developed after trying to do the cinnamon challenge. Just had a spoonful of cinnamon. It was too much, coughed, and all of a sudden was overwhelmed with like visions and information. And it was a new experience for her, but that's kind of helped her gain momentum too in her social vlogging, because she's able to kind of ascertain facts that people might not have known about things, like where they've been, how they came to being. So she's not shy. In fact, I think she's pretty open about her meta power and how crazy it's been for her. You definitely noticed, I think, when she uses her powers, like she does kind of zone out for a little bit and her pupils kind of dilate really big and drool starts to come out. Just kind of a whole trance thing, but it's not anything. It's like smelling salts, I guess, for me, but I don't get really hyped up. I zone out for a second to get information. But other than that, I don't think she would have really shared too much else. She probably would have been fixated on trying to figure out more about that device.
Did you increase operation, by the way?
I did, yep.
Nice. So yeah, you're starting to basically you're starting to learn like the basics of operating devices and stuff like that. This requires up to level 5, but you can roll. But for every level that you're missing, you get a minus 10%. So you're at level 2, requires level 5. So that's a 30% penalty. So it is. Let me check your stat actually. You have like a 10% chance of making it work. 11% chance. There's something else that I want to say. There is an underlying connection between Tina and Diego, because out of the 4, these are the only 2 that they had their meta powers through some sort of an accident. Just saying that. It's like like Hulk is totally on the other side. It doesn't really talk about it. And yeah, Aurora, you haven't really disclosed anything about dreams and fake creatures or whatever. So I like it because there is still a lot to share with each other. So let's get back. Let's say a couple of days has passed. You've just been processing, training a bit, talking about with each other. It's a weird place, this opera, because it's not really a real place, and food and other stuff. You just ask the conductors around that they just appear around you. You don't really have yourselves this power to conjure everything out of thought, but they seem to do in this place at least. So, by the way, you're fully free, if you're that type of person, to discover the map and open the doors and walk around. This is your map, it's your headquarters. So go ahead. Actually, yeah, go ahead and find your way to the opera, so you can discover the map on your own.
Let's go.
As I think it's time for your mission briefing. As your protagonists, your players and the protagonists behind them, you need to click the door. There you go, Hulk. Or go the other way around. It's all good.
I'm stuck.
So your players and your... you need to open the door. Click. There you go. So your players and your protagonists have chosen out of the 3 available missions to begin with a mission provided by Savo Tsutakian. Savo Tsutakian, to remind you, is the short, old person with the retro clothing who seems to be a member of what they're calling it as the Sumerian Kings. And their mission will actually take you back in time, on a different timeline nonetheless, not the one that you come from, but on the ancient Egypt, and actually the Library of Alexandria. So let's say, since I see you've all managed to reach the opera floor, that the other conductors take a little breather and they sit on the balconies, and it is now he will come to you actually. Savo Chutakian will at some point gather you all and give you a full mission briefing. Starting with a little bit information about his faction, and a little bit of information about his multiversal faction, about the new realm that you will be discovering, the realm of the Nether dimension. So I will begin by saying a few things. If you have any questions, you can stop at any time, because this is not like, this is an ongoing dialogue that you had back and forth over the course of a couple of or 3 days. It's not like just one conversation. But what he did told you, that the Sumerian Kings is like a fraternity or a cadre of immortal Metanthropes who have been the architects of human civilization across many timelines, but through the sidelines. They operate primarily throughout and within the enigmatic Nether dimension. They communicate with spirits and utilize the cosmic energies that exist there. And they do seem to have a deep reverence for tradition, fraternity. They see themselves, the Sumerian Kings, as custodians of lost lore and history. Now, among you, none is a history expert, but a couple of you, I think, have academics. And those who have some basic academics, they might find these Sumerian Kings as a like something that they might know from actual history. And they originate from Mesopotamia, and there are discovered in their own timeline some weird tablets of names that do like it's kind of like a fiction of history, something like that, like way past. They were writing some weird fiction. By the way, a little parenthesis, I am based on actual real life fiction, I guess, because there are no immortal kings out there, but there are real life stories about them. So this is where I based this.
So I was reading about it recently, and in the Sumerian text, there's stories of kings living for 23,000 years and stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I know the one
I'm
you're
based
talking
on
about.
that. So I took it that like literally. What if they were actually kings that existed for 30,000 years and they were helping humanity throughout, the Paleolithic age or whatever. So their wisdom spans across ages, and their guidance have been pivotal in shaping the course of humanity. So wherever they operate, because they're not in the infinite multiverse in every timeline, but in those timelines that they operate, they are unseen yet present and steadfast protectors of mankind, safeguarding its legacy and continuity of human civilization. And as for the Nether dimension, it's a. So, do you have anything to ask, actually, Shavo, about his faction? Before I continue.
How many are you, the Sumerian kings, and how old are you?
Oh, it's not polite to ask such things, but I will tell you that there are not merely enough of us, and those that have actually served humanity and guided it for millennia and more are not nearly as enough. But there are trainees, upcoming new immortals that we have a plan that is looking ahead. When you are a multiversal faction such as ourselves, that we view time and the passing of time the way that we see, we make investments. Investment not in stocks or this and that, but into people, into new pupils that will learn the things that we have learned and acquire the lore that we have acquired, and ultimately reach the level that they can become wise kings that can actually guide the humanity of an entire timeline into prosperity. But I will never tell you how old I am.
I like Shovel, he's fun. I love the accent.
Isn't he the creepy one that with the girls don't? Yeah, he's the one where
Yeah.
like,
It's okay to each of you have your own, sympathies.
I
or
like him,
whatnot.
he's wise and philosophical, and
I would never leave Tina alone with just him. Like, there's always someone else.
Diego
So
likes
about Nether
philosophy,
Dimension. It's super important for your characters and the audience, by the way, to realize that going to a temporal dimension such as Nether is not actually time travel. You're going to a different dimension that exists in the past, but you won't be able to influence the future or something. You won't see any living person when you enter the Nether dimension. It's a temporal realm that exists on the past, and everything in Nether is something that once existed, but no longer does. From dead people to destroyed structures to ravaged lands to even ideas that's forgotten and tales lost in the annals of time. The Nether dimension consists. Let's imagine that Shavo has created a whiteboard and he's like using a chalkboard, has got chalkboard, like a teacher, and show you stuff and teaching you. The Nether dimension consists of a finite, although vast number of layers. It's like it goes like this, it's like it descends. What I'm trying to say, it goes back in time. So the first layer, top level of Nether, let's say level 0, is basically almost identical to present. While if we get deeper, things will start to change drastically. You will start to see ashes around you falling. That's one of the main characteristics of Nether dimension, and even black flames. Now, he says, those black flames, there's something important that you need to keep in mind. Those flames produce no heat, no sound, but should you come in contact with them, you might lose your memories, or people might forget about who you are. So make sure whatever you do, you don't walk through those flames, even if you feel that they're not going to burn you. And they will not burn you, but they might burn your soul. Ooh, he says. So the lower you go, the lower you descend into the layers, you will find yourself feeling heavier, and movement will become hindered. And also, the place around you will be more and more covered to those black flames of Nether, because you enter basically uncharted territories that no one can remember. Let's say that I created a painting that me and my friends remember. After 100 or 1,000 years, nobody will remember what this painting really is, and once it's destroyed, it will become member of Nether, and so it will be like a painting covered in black flames. Now imagine that with buildings and landscapes, and should you go like thousands of years back, the entire world, the entire ground will be so much terraformed over the years that everything will be covered in flames. So you need not to worry about all that, because you won't be going all that much back into we'll make sure that you won't feel any of these. You won't be threatened in any shape or form by all those black flames. I'm pretty sure. So many of our kind visit Nether to learn from history, unravel unsolved mysteries, and discover lost lore. Some might see it as a gloomy, dark place of regret, death, and despair, but I personally see it as a fascinating walk through the history of the timeline that you're on. So, in order to make sure that we're not 2,000 years into the past, since our mission takes us to the Library of Alexandria, the first major distraction that it faced, we will take you into a new timeline around the passing of AD to BC. So there you shall find yourselves in the Library of Alexandria, and what your mission really is that for some reason the one that we have appointed there, the one called Magistrate Akkadi, has been AWOL. I think it's called AWOL. Like communications have been shut down, and we're not sure what sort of things that person is doing there. What we do know that he has been appointed 7 new Sumerian trainees, would-be Sumerian kings, and there is no reason to shadow all communication with us and the rest of the faction. So we wonder what's going on there. So any information that you bring back to us will be most helpful. And there will be friendly spirits of the dead there. And do note that those that have recently died are called the Arriven, and they're wandering, confused, lost souls most of the time. But others who have spent many years and began developing their powers as an extra-dimensional entity become what we call eternal spirits, and they are much more powerful, but also cooperative. And one of those spirits is one of our agents of my order. It is the spirit of Eratosthenes. It's an ancient Greek polymath, really, a very talented man in his life, who has died a few decades when you reach this timeline that we're sending you on. And he serves as the chief he has served in life as the chief librarian of the city of Alexandria, and he does in death continue to do so. So he will most definitely help you find the magistrate and answer all your questions. Speaking of questions, I know this is all too overwhelming for you, and a few weeks ago you barely knew how to handle your gifts, but I am here to help you and answer every question you might have.
When we find the magistrate, how is he going to know that we're here to help, or are we trying to be covert? Because otherwise we're just weirdos who turned up to meet these ghosts and stuff. Do we have like a badge that says like team name or a uniform or something to make us?
Otherwise, we're just people in really weird clothes.
We'll just turn up being like, "Hey, want some information?"
Concerning your clothes, let's start from the easier question. Once you go through the rift that takes you outside of space and time, your appearance will change and your clothes will match that of the appropriate era. And all weird technological devices that you might have might translate to something else. So, for example, a cell phone might become a notepad to the eyes of everyone else. And your cool jeans might become like robes or whatnot. So out of game, start thinking about how your character will look into archaic times. That's not the time to say it. Start,
So it's kind of like Quantum Leap. Like we're gonna look, but also know that we are someone else.
Yeah, you get the look though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Showing your age there, Quantum Leap, Martin.
I know,
As for the most challenging question you've posed me, do, when you find the magistrate, say that Savo Chutakian sent you. He knows me. We are in the same order after all. and he will know exactly why I'm worried, and I've sent you there.
What was the name of the
So
magistrate?
yes, he goes by many names over many ages, as you can imagine. Has been known as Magistrate Akadi, Analganar, and Lu Agna, and many other names. So let's go with Magistrate. I think it's the easiest of them all. And yes, I want, this person is not open-hearted and kind and smiley as I am. Is a bit more on the darker side, I should say. He's always been...
I nudge Tina at this point when she says that
Yeah.
his friend is weird.
I remember the joke, yeah. The creepy person gets creeped out. That's so I loved it, yeah. So yeah, I cannot find really any reason why he would shut all communications. There might be simply just a simple accident, and you might find him there lecturing his pupils about the ways of the world.
And the last known thing that he did before shutting down communications was recruiting 7 new prospective.
We have sent him 7 new pupils, and he was appointed to spend the next several centuries teaching them the ways of history, engineering, philosophy, law, and many other studies.
Excusez-moi, but is there anything that I should not taste outside of the fire?
Interesting. Aside of the fire, I think there is a breadth of wisdom to be learned and to be found in this place. Should you choose to read it, hear it, taste it, it's up to you. At this point, not based on what Justina's asked, but what I was saying before, roll me the first roll of the session, an awareness roll, everyone.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, let's start rolling. Have new destiny each of you, so beautiful purple dice. Tiramisu, very successful. Diego, not so much. Aurora, not so much.
Spent a destiny and got
Diego,
a 5.
extremely successful now. Hulk, very low. I guess you won't spend any of your 4 destiny. Let's start with Hulk. You already told me that you like him, so I'm gonna base it on him. You find him very trustworthy, very entertaining, very fun. You're looking forward to this adventure. You don't really feel anything will go wrong. All is good, my friend. All is good. As for Aurora, you can't really read anything besides the surface. You're free to, trust or distrust whatever you want, but you don't have any indications for left or right or wrong, and so on. And Diego has 3 and Tina has 2. Very close. Let's start with Tina. Tina, when he started talking about this magistrate, you did feel that he's kinda, maybe more than creeped about him. Maybe he's kinda afraid or something. He's trying to, how you say it, sugarcoat it about, not like it's a no mission, no biggie, just the cell phone's not working, just go there to make sure that he's there. No, he's sugarcoating it, but he's kind of afraid. And for Diego, you, with a 1 extra level of success, what I just said to Tina, but also Diego realizes that there is some type of like conflict or comparison. Maybe he finds him to be his equal, or maybe even more threatening that he's equal. You definitely catch that he's hiding something that he's not telling you. Okay. You maybe want to say anything about, any interactions?
I would say to Shavel, maybe you seem a bit worried about this magistrate. Do you think that his behaviours leads to suspicion that he might become dangerous?
Are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm asking Shavel.
Dangerous. There are some dangers, as there are with many other different dimensions. I already mentioned the fires, but as for the spirits, do not be alarmed for the spirits of the damned, the dead, rather. Eratosthenes, as I told you, is a polymath of ancient Greece, very, very heartwarming, very, very intelligent, and a man that can, you can spend as many days as you want in the library, gain so much knowledge. No, there's no danger to be found. But you kind of see through his lies, so he continues to lie to you. The rest of you, the two of you, do believe him. Tina does see that there is a danger with Magistrate, but he doesn't really get that he's kind of totally lying to you.
So my question for Pythagoras is
Eratosthenes, rather, and that's another Greek. But sure.
I don't know these things, so for example, these fires, just say someone was to get massive and then for some reason their toe was to slip into said fire. Would that cause an issue, or like does the fire have to touch like all of you and consume you, or
It's a very good question. Like John right now, like contemplating to find the answer. Shavo would know, so give me a second.
Interesting. That kind of makes me think of another physics question about the flames, actually, Chris.
Yeah, let me answer this one first. I think it's he says that it's more spiritual based and not physical based. This fire is getting lost in memory and stuff, like lost in. But on the other hand, it does depend on how much you're being covered. So if if the building is fully covered, it means that it's totally lost. No one remembers it. It's gone one with the Nether. So he will say, I'm not sure. No, I think being larger for some reason would actually help you in case you're being to cross that fire, But he doesn't give you a definitive answer.
Maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. Haha. Right, good. Thanks for that,
It's life.
Stavo.
If we know all the answers to all the questions, we should live life and experience it.
Like, if you don't know fire is generally bad, you've got a lot more problems. Just general fire's not a positive thing.
Let's avoid all the fires, whether that would be burning red fires or black flames of Nether. All fire is bad. This is like a good guidance.
Generally avoid contact with flames of any variety, yeah.
Yes, that's a good advice. How about you, Diego? You seem to have a question.
It was another question about the physicality of the flames. Do they have the same physical laws as the real flame? Can you snuff it out? Can you blow it with wind?
No, rather they do not. You cannot really, even if you throw water on them, they won't go out, because it's actually memories and ideas being burned and lost and becoming one with Nether. But you don't need to worry all that much about those black flames, because in the particular moment that we get you, you're gonna see only the surface of Nether, because we're taking care of you. We're not gonna send you 2,000 years back. We're gonna time travel you through this opera into the ancient city of Alexandria, and then you're gonna enter Nether through there.
Can I do like an insight check real quick on that? Like,
yeah, it's another, it's the same role that we rolled before, the awareness roll. And you do realize that there are a lot of, for you see there is a lot of dangers when it comes to this magistrate. With 2 levels of success, you weren't. I see you trying again, and now you're you're basically far off. So maybe now you trust him more with 4.
So
believe in him even more now.
The only question that I have left before I'm ready to go on my merry way is, you know, if we're gonna spend some time there, this one's for the gamers out there. Should I sleep in a bed in the Nether?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with sleeping in Nether.
Okay, that's it.
Is that a
That's all I
Minecraft
needed to
gag
know.
that I don't quite get?
It's a Minecraft gag, yeah.
Thought so.
Too old.
If you, all right, for the old people in the room, if you sleep in a bed in Minecraft in the Nether, then it explodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
the more you know, eh? Never played
There you go.
Minecraft, believe it or not.
Neither have I, and there are no explosions. It's all safe.
It sounds like we
Before
don't
we
want to be
have our
sleeping nights
first-
there though, Hawk. I don't think we should be like getting a B&B. We should be leaving same day.
In and out. Before we begin our first mission and we have our first break for this session, at some other point, maybe the third day or so, there is a different encounter. You have a different encounter, and it is a private encounter for only, let me show you, Diego, Aurora, and Thiruvati. So,
The other guys taking their
this
headphones off?
not yet. She's not. Let's say that you're in a room, something like that. So she doesn't really say it like a full-on secret.
Okay.
So it's okay for everyone to hear. But for some reason, this is the two of you, especially Aurora, and then Diego. So she starts with Aurora. You remember from her from last session that she has showed you that she has on her like a tattoo or something, a sigil of your Wicca, coven or something.
Mhm.
So at some point, let's say she will begin with you, and then she will go to Diego and allow the rest of you to hear what she say. Let's start this. Start with your Aurora and says, "Hello, sister."
She does the secret witch handshake, which I can't show you because none of you witches. So we do the little.
If there is one,
Yep.
it does one, but maybe with you notice a few something different, like a modification or a different something different, and say, we're both followers of the Great Mother, but there are across all these massive multiverse and timelines, there are different schools of thoughts, different covens, different rituals, different but we are one of a kind, and we do share a lot of things. And the reason that I wanted to address you first, and then Diego, who is the actual psychic of this mission, is that my own multiversal faction, the Collectiva, which operates on the psychic fields, has an agent of our own in this particular timeline that we send you in ancient Alexandria. She's a human witch, a human Wicca of that era and of that timeline, but make sure, do not underestimate her, because she's well addressed and well informed of Metanthropes, of the multiverse. She knows, she's well addressed, and she's there as an agent of my multiversal faction. And although Savo would like you to believe that all is good and well, I have personally reasons to believe that we shouldn't really trust the word of all these wrinkled old men and their 1,000-year-old whatever they're doing in their darkness. So that's why I would like you, Aurora, first of all, to before doing anything else, to contact Cynthia of Samothrace, and she's our agent, and allow her, should you choose, to accompany you into this journey into the netherworld.
Done. I trust you way more than the other guy, so I am happy with that.
Oh, you really, really should. Awareness roll from the two of you. You know what? Yeah, no, just an awareness roll. Diego, you can't read her at all, but Aurora can. Aurora has this feminine Wicca connection with her that Diego doesn't have. 2-level success, right? You get that she's not entirely to be trusted either, but she is, and you do feel that to your core, the lesser of two evils, if I can say this expression. And if you were to trust faction between the two, you would prefer to be on the presence of your sisters throughout ages, throughout the many timelines. And you do find this fascinating to meet someone that is, 2,000 years ago of what, the orders of the Wicca was, because it was actually a witch of ancient Greece or something. And but on the other hand, you cannot really completely trust this particular Thiruvati conductor either. So there is a lot of mistrust and secrets, and there are a lot of things that they're not telling you, probably. Is it for your own protection? Is it for their own gain? It's too soon to tell. But whatever the case may be, with little preparation and lots of questions, our protagonists are getting ready for their inaugural mission. They're getting ready to time travel, but also dimensional travel. It's going to be like an intense experience. But before we get into that, let's have our very first break of the session. Okay, so we're back into this adventure that we're about to embark. Let me take. There you go. Probably underbriefed, underprepared, and unprepared for this mission. Our newfound coalition, barely knowing each other, barely understanding what this multiverse is, what they're exactly doing. They're doing time travel and then dimensional travel, or both, or so many questions. But they can only be answered in one way: forward. So the curtains open once again in this inter-timeline location that this opera is. And from the stage there is again this blinding white light. But instead of the multitude of bubbles each representing a timeline that is seen before, there's only one. So once you get up on the stage and you go and touch this bubble, you will get 2,000 years ago, more or less, give or take, into Egypt, into Alexandria, into the Library of Alexandria. So if you have any more questions, now it's the time to ask to the NPCs or interact between you.
Oh, can I ask the girl that me and Diego said, like, can we show the witchy woman, like, proof that we're sent from her, like a, something to prove that we're nowhere?
Yes, I have already informed her, and she will be the first to wait for you there.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So you're telling me all we need to do is reach for this bubble, and then Hawk grabs it.
So Hulk is the first to go upon the stage, and then you don't see Hulk anymore. And in the meantime, I want you, Chris, to start imagining how would Hulk, the Sword Zoro, have an appropriate look of 2,000 years ago.
a gladiatorial belt.
I knew you were gonna say gladiator. I knew it.
Of course, of course.
And a single leather strap to support with the shoulder mount.
With the spikes.
The one piece of armor on the shoulder, yeah.
Glass. With the one glove with the spikes, not the glass.
Amazing, mate.
Yeah, spot on. How about the rest of you? Do you ask anything? Because you already seen someone began the mission already, apparently.
So after Hawk goes up to the bubble, I'll hold my hand out and not move and bring the bubble to me and then touch it.
He's gone. And on the other side, let's go one by one. How do we see Diego appearing 2,000 years ago?
He is in the robes of a physical education instructor. Someone who teaches young boys physical education. You know, like the games teacher.
Yeah. Probably not much clothes on, I would
I
guess.
was gonna say, didn't they do like gym stuff naked? So you might just turn up as a naked man. I'm just saying for historical purposes.
Not that naked, Martin. You wish. No, not quite that naked.
With the white thing that they have, like.
He's probably just wearing a toga, but like he's got the top bit off, so he's just like shirtless in the bottom half of a toga. And there's a ball at his feet for some reason, and it's like it's like hay and like straw, like tied up with twine. And when he arrives, this ball just like lands at his foot, and a kid looks at him like that, and he kicks the ball over at the kid.
We'll get to that. Right? We'll get to that. How about Aurora or Tina? Did you enter? Did you ask anything?
I want Tina to go in with the tongue first, because I want to see. I said I think you should do it. See if you can taste time travel. I think it tastes like vanilla. So you go first.
I'll stick my tongue out and kind of just like elongates into the bubble. It starts going through the time travel before I do, and then I'm sucked in.
Tongue first.
On the other side, before I describe the environment, how does Tina's appearance change? With your mind, you can change whatever you want while time traveling.
Yeah, you see like a Laffy Taffy just kind of appear in the air, and then boom, Tina's standing there in the place of the Laffy Taffy. And she is dressed in kind of like the, I guess, like traditional philosopher robes that you would see for, for that kind of period, with her hair kind of in a little updo and a couple strands hanging there here and there, but very just sleek, composed, ready to taste.
Aurora's just gonna jump in, and she quickly checks on her phone what people wore 2,000 years ago. But you know, like when you look for costumes and you get like sexy whatever, so she just kind of comes out as like a very short toga with like a little gold leaf thing around her, so she's kind of like a slutty priestess, because that's what she saw on her phone. Like nice gold sandals, but probably not authentic, but that's what Google said.
The basic white woman Halloween outfit where they just do a slutty this or a slutty that or a slutty this.
Slutty Roman woman. Or Greek woman, depending,
A slutty Cleopatra outfit. Yeah.
You're lucky she didn't see Cleopatra.
I was thinking of like the female in Hercules. I can't remember her name.
What, Xena?
Meg.
Oh yeah, from the Disney. Yeah.
Oh, you mean that Hercules?
Yeah, kind of.
To be fair, pretty though.
I thought you meant like Kevin Sorbo Hercules. Like
no,
Xena.
like the Disney one. I think they mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like that, but a bit more slutty. Yeah, basically. Slutty man.
I mean, for those times, you know, that was pretty racy.
But obviously, it's Martin. It's going to be even sluttier.
Yeah, just go with what my character.
You're showing ankle. You're definitely.
No,
There's like a lot of like on show. I mean, I
No,
don't
there's
know
people
if-
passing
it's
out
not,
in the
it's
street
not like the
'cause
Middle Ages. We go way back. I
Aurora's
think,
showing
people
knee.
were less prudent there. So the good news is that we changed the scene. I'm gonna be awarding you all with a couple of more destiny to have. Always good to have a
Oh,
couple more
nice.
destiny. Let me double check. Rest.
More
Can you
than
make-
4.
Can you make Chris roll for his destiny? Like, should he roll to see if he can get any? Or just like 100 or whatever?
I think he's up to 6. Yeah, he's up to 6 now.
Up to 6.
So, as soon as you enter this white line, it touches a bubble and you time travel for the very first time in your life, I will need like both an endurance and willpower roll. It's not like life or death, but it shows how your mind and body is going to react to it. Just for the fun of it. Don't be stressed to spend all your destiny right now. Lots and lots of dice. Let me start where it
Success on the wind
begins.
power, but not on the endurance. So physically bad, but mentally okay. Oh, look at that roll.
Oh, tiramisu critical success! Wow, an endurance roll. Wow, that must be somehow worded. So unless you want to spend any of the rest of your destiny or something, I will go from the top and start explaining. Basically, if you fail your endurance, your body doesn't take it well. If you fail your willpower, your mind doesn't take it well. And depending on your success or fail, you know, it might be a different. Okay, let's start. Let's start with endurance. Let's go from the bottom up. Actually, to see the destiny spent.
Yeah, I felt it
Tina has
halfway.
failed. Tina has failed the willpower, so she is shaken. On the previous sessions, Tina was also kind of afraid of something, you know, was afraid of when you saw the alien or something. So, you know, all these things kind of scare you. But with only one level of failure, it might be visible to your eyes, but you're not noticeably shaken or anything. You can handle it, but deep down, you're wondering, am I outside of my, you know, outside of my league? How you feel, you know? What am I doing here? You're kind of scared. Diego's body accumulates,
I spent one destiny to re-roll the endurance and I got 1 level of success.
Yeah, he was about to, oh, my stomach, but you were successful, just barely successful, but it's fine. Hulk with 5 levels of failure, and I know you're not gonna re-roll that. You basically, oh, are you re-rolling it? Oh, another critical success!
That's Aurora.
Because I failed it by like 2 or 3 points. So I'm like, I'm gonna re-roll at least
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but the
Another
other one-
critical success.
2
one. Yeah,
ones.
but the other one I did shit on. So
The
it's just more
previous one
willpower.
doesn't. You know, the physical one doesn't matter because let me complete what I was saying about Hulk, and we'll get to your critical success and then continue. Hulk's mind is struggling, to say the least. When you entered first, before you kind of stuck with the idea that you should have been briefed more, that you shouldn't have entered all this early. You think you're outside of your element, you're afraid, and I'm gonna give you the condition of terrorized level 2, dropping your willpower by a further 10%. You only have 11% willpower. You're very susceptible to being afraid or, you know, mind controlled of stuff. And you're not sure how long this is gonna last. He's obviously terrified. Let me see your body. Let me double check how's Hulk doing in general. I would guess you succeeded.
What was the stat you put to 100, Chris?
100 is power, not endurance. Endurance and reflex are both 69. Pretty cool. Where is your endurance roll? I can't find it actually in chat.
Failed it as well. And awareness, I failed 4.
You failed also your... Okay, let's start with a guessing from all of you.
1 level of failure on endurance.
2.
So
You got 2
he's
levels of failure on
visibly-
endurance. You rolled a 92.
Yeah, he's visibly shaken. This new gladiator that stands tall around you. But he's not like his body is shaking. He's looking down. He's very afraid. He doesn't realize where he is for a couple of seconds. It doesn't look good. Let's go on. Oh, someone changed his mind before I say the result.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to make it slightly. It's still bad. It's not as bad as it was. Yeah.
Okay. Let's
That's
go
all I
with
did.
Aurora
Destiny.
then. Let's go with Aurora. Aurora immediately catches her stomach a bit. Like physically something like kind of kicked her, nothing much. But then her absolute iron will resolve convinces her that she's supposed to be there. It's her destiny. It's exactly where she's supposed to be. You're gonna meet other weekends of the past. You're gonna unravel secrets. So many secrets about magic, botanology, and all the other things that interest you are within your grasp. So you feel rejuvenated. And I'm gonna give you the buff Determined.
Cool.
Nice.
At level 5, temporarily increasing by 25% your willpower. You never felt so determined before in your life.
Level 5.
Wow.
Cool.
Check you out.
At like 25%.
I'm guessing temporarily though. This lasts for like whatever.
It's gonna last for an entire scene, so it's
Ooh.
quite a lot.
That's quite a
so it
buff.
seems like it's
25
whatever
on
the
a
scene
stat.
may be. Tina's willpower has failed, but endurance is still successful. Yes, with the critical. So Tina is kind of afraid. I think I began with Tina being kind of afraid, and where am I? What I'm doing here? But you inhale and you taste a new environment around you, and immediately you realize that you can your body can take everything. You can taste those black flames. You can taste the papyrus with ancient knowledge. You can taste the spirits of the dead. You can take it. I will give you, besides the destiny that already been awarded, I'm gonna give you endurance. Should I increase your life? No, it's not. I'm gonna give you sorry, a bit confused. What should I award you right now with endurance, critical success?
All I know is the Nether better watch out if I'm tasting everything. Like,
She's got an iron stomach.
You know
She
what?
just-
It's a bit unconventional what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give you focused, like the thing that you roll with your meta power, even though you rolled endurance. I'm gonna give you level 3, not level 5 as I did with Aurora, but you gain a very cool buff of 15% awareness buff for the remainder of the scene. Let's make it a 20. Let's make it a roll 20. And amazing roll. You already taste everything there. And Diego is very, very successful with his willpower. So his resolve is uncanny. He knows that he's supposed to go there, and all those suppressed feelings that he had that he should or should not use his meta powers. He thinks, I remember you told this the previous session too, that you think that this is a new chapter. This is a new you, a new timeline, a new dimension, a new land. Everything is new. So you're with 4 levels of access, pretty outstanding resolve. Usually I only give buffs with critical successes and stuff. But you know what? I'm going to give you like a 5% increase to your willpower to make it a even 80% for this scene. But as for your endurance, did you say that you failed this one?
No, because I re-rolled it.
You re-rolled it, and let me double
Got a
check.
success.
Yeah. So you're only positive effects from you from now on. So the only one that's visibly shaken by all of this is Hulk, both
The big tough guy.
Body and soul. The rest of you are pretty determined, and your resolve has never been the same. As for the environment, before I go to the details, you just see the sun shining above you. You see some rubbles of ancient architecture. it's a huge wall next to you, so you cannot really see. You need to go past the wall to see more than meets the eye. I guess that's like the Transformers line. I don't know. Anyway, so welcome to this new mission. How do you react to this? Your very first time travel, timeline changing, not time traveling, timeline traveling.
Well, I think Tina just learned the recipe for time travel by deconstructing its flavor with that one.
Yeah, I think she would suggest leading with your tongue next time, and
It works.
makes it a little easier.
She's
I'm
just
gonna
learned all
see
the
if
flavor secrets
Hal-
of the universe.
Can I get like a bucket or a cloth for Hal? Because I'm guessing he's vomiting or something. He's-
Puking in the corner, terrified.
Did he
sweat,
fail his
everything? I feel both. One
Oh.
in endurance.
No, she's not
or-
vomiting. Sorry, she's not
Yeah,
vomiting
okay.
because it wasn't an endurance problem. It was the willpower that failed by 5 levels, so he's
Shaken.
shaken.
Can
mentally
I-
shaken.
Can I give him a coach to athlete pep talk?
You can try. It's manipulation.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be easy because he's visibly shaken. But let's see. He's an athlete, so maybe you catch something there. And tell me what you say.
Let me re-roll it first before I decide.
Maybe I will give you like a 5% bonus if you do the right role play.
All right,
You're already
okay.
Spending destiny, as I see.
Okay, so
Can I make Diego think he's doing it, but I'm using like my pheromones to actually do it? Like, so he thinks he's doing it, but it's actually me.
He starts
Doesn't
fumbling more
really
because
work like that. And I have to warn Oliver that when spending destiny, you always take your last result. So now you're gonna stress you more with 4 levels. Of
yeah, no,
success.
I'm gonna make another one. I've only
Ooh.
got 7 left. I'm gonna use one more.
Oh, I like it that you spend.
Oh
it for
my-
the pulse. Oh, exactly the same. What was that? A bit worse. Oh my
It's even
God.
worse. Right.
it can possibly get worse if you
I'm-
spend it.
This is what I do. I'm a coach. I cannot give him a 94 speech. I've got to use another destiny.
I'm running away with Tina before they
Oh
kick off
no,
each
I
other.
cannot give him a good speech here. I'm going to use all my destiny at the start of this adventure.
Oh,
no.
speech.
Don't keep the rest of your
Give-
destiny.
Nah,
Yeah,
one more.
Better.
One more. I'm not giving you a bad speech,
Oh
mate.
my God.
not- I can't- I
5
can't.
destiny all for to help your
What-
friend.
what
It's
kind of
enough,
coach would I
course.
be? If I gave you that for your pep talk.
Yes!
There you go. There you go. That was
Finally.
worth it. That was worth it.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, accompanied with what exactly you say. You see a young, like defensive player in your mind who's losing his shit. You've dealt with this stuff before when about to take a championship. A pro athlete with a chiseled, hard-boiled body, losing his mind, it's all mental. What do you say to lift his spirits up?
I tell him that new environments and new challenges are what make us as winners. If you just fought the same goon that you fought in sparring every week, if you fought him on a Friday night, you would get nowhere and you'd never been the famous wrestler you are. But by fighting new opponents, guys whose style you don't know, new guys, that's what made you big. It's playing in new countries and trying new styles and new positions that made me who I am as a coach, and you'll never get anywhere, you'll stagnate. It's these challenges, these new things that make us visionaries in our respective sports, and without challenge you'll stagnate. And
Fuck, I'm inspired right now, real life. I remove the terrorized condition altogether.
Hey,
You're
nice.
motivated. He really speaks in a way that maybe your wrestling coaches ever spoke to you in your life, and it really works. It really works.
Hog just like snorts out one side and pushes all the like dirt and dust out, and just pats off his shoulders. He's just like, "Alright, right, ready to go. Let's go."
nice.
Tina
Oh.
thinks that the older people are forever going to be a problem when it comes to time traveling.
Me too. I'm just like, Tina, we need to jet off. We know what our powers are, just general time travel. So, just good at it.
So you're free to roam and discover this new place that you're
Oh,
on.
it appears that I've still got like, oh no, wait, What's the green bar? Is the green bar health?
Yeah,
On the
the
token.
underneath is health, the top is destiny.
Like my life is 130 out of 140. Should it not be 140?
What? You're not full life? What the
No,
fuck
for
happened?
some reason it's not full.
Yeah.
Mine's not full either. It's like a few
Oh,
points down.
sorry. Obviously, you're all full life. I
Thank
don't know
you.
what this happened. No need to worry about that. No conditions. No, you're perfect the way you are. So,
I'm sticking with Tina because when we all run away and we have to sort things out again, we're going to be a team. So I'm sticking with Tina.
There's someone over here.
So there is someone over here indeed. Let me put the appropriate playlist for this. And you do see a woman in dark skin, dark hair, in her 40s towards 50s. She's wearing
You have a witch's hat on, like a big black pony.
no.
A wart on her
But
nose.
maybe you do realize you do see some similarities that speak to you, Aurora. And she approaches and says, "Greetings. I am Cynthia of Samothrace. I know who you are, travelers, and I know where you came from. What I do not know is your names."
I am Aurora of New Jersey. Well, that's what she did.
She does a variation, at least, of the mystical handshake you have, maybe like a full archaic 2,000 year ago version. I am well aware from where you come from and who you really are. And also, as you can hear, I know your futuristic language of English. Although I am from this timeline and this world is the only one that I've ever knew, I know that you are not mortals, not ordinary men and women, and we have much to discover here.
Diego shudders slightly when he hears her say that. Still doesn't sit comfortably with him.
Come, says to the two men behind. Do not be afraid.
I'm Diego of Zaragoza.
Well met, Diego of Zaragoza. And who is this gladiator that towers before me?
My name's Gary.
You got to do the other bit.
Oh, I've got to do the other bit.
Yeah, like she did, like a little.
I'm Gary of the Gutter.
Gary of the Gutter.
Gary of
Pleasure
Gary
to make
sounds.
your acquaintance. Their accent is struggling a bit with English. She really is studying a language from the future in her timeline, but it seems to be okay. Welcome, she says, to Alexandria. She goes and you need to follow her. As for the audience and players, you might hear some sounds now. If you don't hear any sounds besides the music, you need to go to the notes and increase the ambient. Play with the ambient. You know, there's a different playlist for different sound for playlist and ambient. You should be listening to some ambient sounds right now.
Got
do
that?
you?
Yep.
Excellent. So basically, you see the sun is above you, and as you step onto the balcony of the museum, as they call it, the full splendor of ancient Alexandria unfolds beneath you. It's what you see ahead, like on the bottom of the screen. Like you're on the top of the building to see the ancient city of Alexandria. The early morning sun casts a golden glow over the city. You see below merchants and scholars bustle about their business. From this vantage point, the rhythm hum of life fills the air, echoes of footsteps on stone, distant calls of vendors shouting, in languages that you don't really know, and the clatter of carts as they roll through narrow alleys. In the distance, rising majestically above the city skyline, it is one of the 7 wonders of the world that you see with your own eyes, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. It's a sentinel that stands over the harbor. Its colossal form stretches towards the heavens, a beacon of civilization. Its flame is visible even in daylight. But what you noticeably see around you is that there are everywhere construction workers working tirelessly on the docks, but also on the grand library that stands on your right. It's actually on the left on the VTT. So everybody is shouting languages you can barely comprehend, from ancient Greek to ancient Egyptian. There are these things that you create to, the construction work. It seems that both the library and the docks have undergone some severe catastrophe and fires. And Cynthia continues and says, in my world, where I am now, we just in this city suffered a great catastrophe. You see, it is Julius Caesar who decided to avoid his enemies taking his ships. He burned his entire fleet here, but without him wanting to. It was also the ancient library. She doesn't say ancient actually. It is the Library of Alexandria that was burned. At least a portion of it alongside it. So as you can see now, we're just reconstructing and building. But once we get through this, she shows to the left, particular corridor, we're not just gonna enter the library. We're gonna enter the Nether dimension. This famed Library of Alexandria, I continue with my own points. The Library of Alexandria is a splendid mix of ancient Greek and Egyptian architecture. As you see it now, a huge part of the library has been blackened by recent flames and ruins. Most of the floors have collapsed. There has been a great catastrophe and destruction. But you do see on an archway that leads inside the library a shimmering, subtle warping of the air, as if reality itself is bending. It's a tear between worlds, swirling with unnatural energy. You know instinctively that when you step through this door, you're not gonna just enter the library halls, but it's gonna take you to a realm beyond. The dimension of Nether calls from within. Its pull is faint, yet undeniable. How do you bask into all this? The lighthouse, the ancient city, portal, the distraction, the splendor.
I'm taking it all in. I've read about this in history books, and to see it right after the Great Fire is it's quite breathtaking. I'm speechless.
I'm asking Halk if he saw the show Spartacus, and if he thinks, we should see if we can match him up in a fight.
She says, which theater writer has wrote it? He hasn't seen this performance. And, is it like on Athens or at Delphi? Do they play this theater?
Man, we can do that later. I know we've got other stuff to do.
He does the Marty McFly. You're not ready for it, but your kids are gonna love it.
Let me clarify for my players and audience that all the dialogue descriptions, tokens, and maps that we're gonna use are not official. They're temporary. Our official are gonna be around the time of the next Kickstarter. These maps that we're using are from, let me give you they are from Lion Banner Studios. They're called multiversal maps. We're using the multiversal of the past, obviously, right now. So she turns around and sees you.
Yeah, it's a thing of beauty, the
As you
map.
understand, you are. Yeah, all the maps are pretty good, but they're not, exactly, you're gonna use a lot of theater of mind. What I'm trying to say is not like everything you see is exactly as I meant to be. I try to do as close as possible. She says that I am here to guide you, but also serve you, answer all your questions that I can answer. I know that you have special gifts that much exceed my own practices of ritualistic magic and divinations by consuming substances and whatever my specialties may be. But know that I'm well aware of who you are, where you come from, and I'm here to help you. Make an awareness roll, why don't you?
Come on, Diego. Oh my days.
Oh my days, nice.
Tiramisu with a 19. She's just walking around with her tongue out, hyper aware of everything.
Failure, Tina. Only Tina.
My eyes are all black because they're so dilated.
Someone 200 meters away just lied. I tasted it.
All of you are simply too much amazed with your surroundings to... Actually, Hulk is too much amazed with your surroundings to actually, make any sense of what she's saying, if you can trust her or not. Aurora, on the other hand, is super biased. She's already like a Wicca, like a sister of a 2,000-year-old past. You have many reasons to trust her, so you can't really read her unbiasedly. I'm gonna go to Diego next, who...
Failed.
Diego, on the other hand, you're not sure if you can trust her. For some reason, you think that with 5 levels of success, it
5 failure.
operates on the other level, and you're a bit mistrustful of her. But I need to say that Tina, you find her honest. She's here indeed to serve and trust, but you also realize an underlying politics, like timeline politics and multiversal faction politics that is at play here. And maybe you shared it on the conversation on the other side of the opera, maybe not, but you do realize that she is serving a different faction that is the Sumerian kings. So ultimately, she's here to help you, but if she were to make a life or death choice, she has her allegiances. You're not entirely sure, even with 5 levels of success, if those allegiances are you or Savon and his immortal kings, Sumerian kings. But she is trustworthy. She's here to help you, but she does have her allegiances, and you also begin to understand a mass geopolitical inter-timeline Game of Thrones type of shit of political stuff that's happening into this world and underneath the surface. With that being said, after taking a few more breaths, watching the great lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the world, Cynthia of Samothrace begins her walk towards this portal.
Can I ask her to help us before we go in? I don't know, give us some protection in case we get sick when we go through the portal. Can she help us with that?
The transition throughout the portal is gonna be seamless. We're gonna travel just barely into the Nether dimension. It's gonna be barely noticeable.
Hawk's holding on to stuff.
That's why I'm
shall see. Does not believe her at all, do you?
Nausea pills.
Hulk, what about if you go really small? Because then I can look after you. If you go tiny again, you turn into a toddler.
You're gonna carry me through the whole...
He's alright, he's holding my hand.
Did it last?
Yeah.
I think we'll save any transformations just for later on, just in case anyone freaks out. I know this person's a Wicca, but how much they know about Metanthropes and stuff like that, I don't know. Like maybe we not give away the ghost. But anyway, is it portal time? Because
It's not gonna be. Actually, she says it. She seems to be well informed. It's not gonna be as intense as the journey you just made. It's gonna be pretty simple, actually. Follow me. She enters.
I was just about to say you go first.
She did.
Come on, Hawk, be fine, man.
Here, stick
Let's
your
go.
tongue through the portal first this time.
Yeah, everyone stick their tongue in apart from me to see what you think it tastes like.
There
Apart
are
from
no
me.
rolls involved when crossing this portal,
Uh,
but activate
Whoa.
a new scene.
That was like magic when I stepped into it.
Can we all decide what it tasted like?
I already saw. I thought it tasted like vanilla, so I think that's what time tastes. No, that's what time tastes like, and what astral portal tastes like.
I think it
I
tastes
think
like
it tastes
ash.
like
Hide pods.
brimstone.
Tastes
I
like
have to
soup
say that
and ash.
there was no taste. There was no taste to be found when crossing it. What you do feel is that as you step through the shimmering rift, the bustling noise of the city, the construction workers, the carts, the shouting merchants are all replaced by an eerie, complete silence. The changing environment around you, on the other hand, is kinda subtle, as Cynthia suggested. At first glance, everything seems the same. Like you cross a portal, like go back, go in, everything is the same. If you look closely, maybe you notice tiny particles drifting down from the ceiling. Maybe if you zoom in on the VTT, you might see them. Is it dust? Is it ash?
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure. The grand architecture surrounds you as Greek columns, ancient Greek that is, stand tall, but they are also inscribed with ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. There are also statues of sphinxes, like on the left and right of this door that you're about to enter, their eyes watching you, unmoving. And this blend of ancient cultures is seamless, but the air is thick with stillness. No workers, no carts, no merchants, no voices. It seems that not a single living soul stirs this place. As I unpause, any reactions to this crossing of... You're inside Nether. Doesn't really seem all that different, but you're inside Nether.
Very eerie. Do we
Yeah.
see any of the flames we heard about?
Nope, no flames.
Okay.
You know what can you taste? I think you should be like checking this place out for anything dodgy.
Yeah, can I do remote taste to see if there's
Sure.
anything lurking?
Drop it.
She's got an actual.
And I'll
Give it a
hold you.
power. You click on the
and
icon.
And I'll hold you as you pass out for like a few seconds.
She doesn't really pass out. Just
Well, you know, like-
trance.
She zones
Trance,
out.
whatever.
Eyes roll
You
back in
help
her
her,
head
you
at a
help her,
picture.
Yeah. So you open your character sheet, you go to the tab of meta powers, and you click on the icon of taste the atmosphere. A success. Also click the button on the chat, activate taste the atmosphere. See for how
Nice
much time. For
roll.
9 minutes, you receive area effect. So if there's anything like hexagon, I think. Let me double check.
It says with remote taste that's hexagon area 1 changes to building area 3.
True. Actually, yeah, let me do something. Sorry for that. I'm gonna give you some stuff to your character sheet. Let me double check. Compendium, really quick. Meta powers. Yes. Now you have. Sorry for that. It's the first time that you activate it. As you can see, your character sheet, you have taste the atmosphere, identify object, and identify organism with for the 4 and the blue stuff. Instead of clicking the other, actually I can delete the other because it's just a worse version. So you only have the level 4 and above. That means your range is building range, so it's like it's pretty big. It's not the entire library, but it's the room at least you're in and more. So immediately in this room you feel that there are 4 black flames just in a very orderly fashion. You can pinpoint their location in just the room next to you. So this is the only area effect, like meta powers or something, that there is around right now.
Can I use my detect pheromones to see if there's any other Metanthropes around?
Very, very interesting. Yes, obviously. Let's go with that. Very, very important information. Remember, it is an investigative mission, so
We know that
whatever
she's a
tricks you have
Metanthrope. Cynthia.
Sirvati of the collective
Sunavati we know it is, yeah.
says she's a human Wicca.
Oh, I thought it was 50.
Yeah,
Click
well,
activate on the chat, but you do get human pheromones for the next 7 minutes from Cynthia, and you get also the articulated 2 buff, which increases your manipulation to 84. And how many levels of success you have? You have only 1, so it's just increased for, let's say, like 10 minutes. It's plenty of time to have it on. She's indeed human, Cynthia is, and indeed there are no more living souls around. Not human, not Metanthropes.
so she's just like a
Spirits, you cannot
regular.
detect.
She is a regular human.
She's a regular
Compared to us.
human, yeah. She just knows has a lot of knowledge, has studied a
Okay.
lot of books or something. So Tina or Hulk, I know who it opens the door. Maybe Tina, who can detect the 4 black flames ahead, and enters the room. And indeed, what you see is there are 4 brazens that are out. There are no ordinary flames being produced, but instead there are 4 black flames in a very orderly fashion. This particular map shows the inside of the library being destroyed. Again, these are not the official maps that we're going to be using. So once you enter Nether and you go into the past, you went up to the point that the library has not yet been destroyed by the fire. So there is no visible destruction inside. But the maps that are used are like destroyed. But it isn't orderly either. It's not clean, or the those spirits that live there, they're not cleaning it or anything. And speaking of which, you realize that you are not alone. There is something very, very weird in the middle of the room that turns around and sees you. It phases in and out of reality.
Yeah.
And on a closer inspection, you see maybe a hunchback, I think that's a word, of an old man, 80 years old, like a super old for this era at least. Bald head, only a few gray hair here. Big ass forehead and big head, beard. Traditional ancient Greek chlamyda, like a, how it's called, like not cloak exactly. It's like, the thing that goes to the side.
Toga.
And ancient Greek stuff, ancient Greek clothing. And he is partly covered in the black flames of Nether. His back, his hunchback, anything besides his face really, who has not yet survived, the description has not survived the eras and the passing of time, are covered in black flames. Those who have at least 1 level in academics might realize him as a scholar of ancient Greece. Maybe Tina has 2 in academics. Hulk, I would reckon he doesn't have any.
I've got 1 in academics.
Diego has only 1. And or Tina, you might make the connection that you have seen on Wikipedia that this is indeed Eratosthenes, the thief librarian of Alexandria. And when you make this realization, as you're the first to enter and you gaze upon the black flames from up close, and there's 4 Brazens. There are behind the Eratosthenes on the far left on the stairs. There are actual candles being lit, which have like actual, purple, not purple, sorry, red flames. The actual whatever the color of the actual flame is. So there's a difference. But when Zoro, for example, went a little bit close to the Brazen, he senses no heat on this black flame. If anyone wants to touch it, warn me first. But it is.
I think Hulk said he wanted to touch it, right?
Can I just say that?
You big Jesse, go on, do it.
Can I just say that the map again is an absolute thing of beauty. The 3D animated candles, the braziers, everything is just absolutely stunning.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can.
Oh, fantastic!
But it is this spirit of the ancient past that approaches you. This visage of an old man that says with his broken English accent, "Welcome to the museum. I am Eratosthenes, chief librarian of the Library of Alexandria. His voice has an obvious echo. "Do not be alarmed, for I am here to serve you and guide you through this."
So is I've literally forgotten his name. You just said it.
It's not an easy name. It's Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes.
Is Stennis covered in this black flame?
Partly, like 50% or something.
Right, so don't touch him.
He doesn't offer his hand. He just nods and bows. I am
The
native of this place.
the flames in the braziers, are they black as well?
Yes, they're the same kind of
Yeah, okay.
black flames. I am here, appointed by the Sumerian kings, and I know very well from where you come from and what you seek.
Can I taste him?
Taste what?
Him?
Do you go and lick him? A remote taste, I suppose. Yeah, you do have a remote taste. So you're trying identify person.
Yeah, identify
example,
organism.
Identify organism. Sorry. You don't have to roll because it won't work. He's not an organism. He's a spirit. He's not flesh and blood. He doesn't have. He only appears to have half of a physical body. In truth, he's nothing physical at all.
Can I?
With Aurora's aura pheromone detection, like, is it giving off like pure Metanthrope vibes, or is this like
You don't
human
really
or
know
not?
that unless you ask her.
Yeah, ask me. Don't, ask someone else. So
Aurora, Aurora,
yes, that's my name. Thank you. Directly answering.
Do you detect this man's aura, Aurora?
Check. Can I sense anything from his spirit?
Nothing from him.
Very
You
well.
can also detect humans and Metanthropes. He's neither.
I wanted to
I'd
try.
be like, you go for it. You got mind shit you can do on an arm.
Well, I wanted to try my meta power on him just to see what kind of physical how substantially is physically. No, I'm not gonna push him. I'm gonna part his hair.
Initiative.
No, I'm gonna part his hair. He's just gonna feel like a little wind blow. He's not even gonna notice. I'm gonna part his hair.
Maybe,
I'm gonna attempt to just part his
I'm so
hair.
tempted to ask you a roll, I'm so tempted to ask you a roll.
Do
Maybe
it.
roll. Yeah, maybe activate your telekinetic flow.
Okay. Right, how do I do that?
You never know what's gonna
Meta
happen. If you
powers.
target another character with meta powers.
What is it?
I need to ask you
Telekinetic
to roll,
flow, yeah?
Yeah, flow. I don't need to push him or something.
How do you
I guess.
roll it?
You activate, you open your character sheet, you go to your meta power
Oh,
tab
there it
and you
is.
click on the icon. It's a
Oh.
super seamless you know, it's better. He might not even realize, but you do. Actually, he does have a. There is a. It's a psychic effect. A bit arbitrary now. I'm gonna do it. So yeah. You do actually flick his hair, you know, move his hair. He's not easy to touch, you know, even with telekinesis. But you managed it because he's phasing in and out of reality, even with psychic energies in this realm. But you did, you know, you can do stuff.
Okay.
That's not easy. What I'm saying is.
I gleaned the information that I wanted to know. That's fine.
Yeah. So he turns around and says, Come, fellow Metanthropes, and allow me to guide you through the realms of the Library of Alexandria. Ahead lies the halls of the library. On your right lies our area of inventions and laboratory. And on the left lies the halls of lecturing. I cannot help myself from wishing to go forward towards where the scrolls are and all the lost knowledge. But if your details of your missions push you towards some other end, I am here to oblige.
When he says fellow Metanthropes, I whisper to Aurora, Is he
Looks like he's not. I can't sense anything. And is that lady still with us as well? Is the human?
Sorry,
woman
I
with
didn't move her.
Cynthia?
But, Cynthia follows
she's
her
still
on
with
the
us.
back, close to Aurora. Yes.
Oh, okay. Just so I know.
Cynthia is my new goth girlfriend. She's sticking around.
I'm gonna taste her since she
Probably, I'm gonna be like Tina.
now
We
it's
talked
getting
about
spicy.
Wow.
she's coming though, and I can gather her intentions. So if she is trying to betray us,
You'll get
So,
Tom blindness.
roll it. Again, you're targeting another character with meta power. You need to roll it. No free rolls. So taste, identify organism. Very successful. Click identify. It's not a VS roll, so probably she doesn't realize what's going on. You're just tasting the particles from her hair or something. Λοιπόν, let's say detection character shifts. Is she who she appears to be? Character shifts is like shape shifting and stuff. She's not shape shifted. Detection location for the next 20 plus hours, you know where she will be. So you can fucking track her, you know, detect every her moves.
She's got a GPS
She's indeed
tracker
a
on her,
human.
nice.
With 3 level success. She's indeed a human, so that much is true. Body characteristics score and stats of the body are 15 body, 23 endurance, 22 power, 27 reflexes. Pretty standard human stuff. Conditions of the body, current life and life total. She has 68 of 73 life. She's been damaged, you know, it's a hard life in ancient Egypt apparently. But she doesn't have any conditions. And that's all that you can master. Remember that you can track her for almost a full day. In case she gets lost and trying to find her, you can. She's over there, you know.
like breadcrumbs, I'll just lick the floor to see if I can taste her footprint.
What does she? What does the old lady taste like?
Kind of like patchouli.
She's
Don't
not
imagine
an
that
old lady,
tastes
like
nice.
40, maybe 50s. It's like it's not an old. Maybe in that era she's an old lady, but no, it's not like a mausoleum or like Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes is like super old. It's like he's like a ghost. So yeah, you have 3 directions. Something like I see that you're already going to the libraries, and this is exactly where Eratosthenes wanted to go. So let us move and change scene to the main library and prepare to be amazed. Prepare to have your minds blown. Aza will pull. Oh man, Eratosthenes doesn't have the. Let me put some effects, sorry, some technical stuff. On the portfolio, put that. And this one too. Perfect. So, let me describe this new area and tell you and give you some permission so you can click stuff around and enjoy your life. All players, observers, save changes. And library.
While they're just marching through really fast, I'm taking it a bit slower,
So you
taking in the
step to
sights.
Sorry?
While they're just marching through really quick, following this guy, I'm going a bit slower and taking in the great Library of Alexandria, because it's a subject I've read about.
It's okay to just say you're old and you need to move slower.
No, he's pretty good physically, I would say. But as you're climbing the stairs, you see left and right the candles, and you just see in the distance, because the huge area, you know, some columns with ancient Greek, Ptolemaic, architecture. You suddenly realize that when you were young, you were reading about this stuff, you were fascinated, and now you're actually living it. Yeah, no need to roll anything else. I think we're good for now. But as you step into the inner hall of the library, the air is thick with a scent of aged papyrus and melting wax. Shelves stretch endlessly in every direction. This map that we're going to be using is not exactly what I had in mind, but imagine on your left and right there are like huge windows that are stacked high with scrolls piled one upon another, seeming like an endless sea of knowledge. There are countless candles on the stairs, left and right, upon these windows, and this uneven placement leaves some corners in shadow, creating some sense of a quiet chaos. On the forefront, where this ghost, where Eratosthenes leads you, where is he? Are you Eratosthenes?
Here.
There he's phasing out, out of reality. He's difficult to spot in this environment. He gets directly into here and says that these are the Pinakes, ancient catalogs detailing the contents of each segment. Because the sheer volume of this library is overwhelming. So what you can do now as players is, can tell me if you can see them. Next to the scrolls on all these windows, there should be the icons of a book. You see a little books. If you click them, they should open a journal, something that you can read.
Yes.
What
Perfect.
What am I not seeing?
If you click on the books that says catalogs, doesn't open a journal page with information. Double click. Maybe.
Books where?
Double clicking.
Beside where I am.
Where are you? Here.
Yeah, nothing for me.
Okay, refresh. There's always all the problems with FoundryVTT are solved with a refresh. I think by refreshing it and clicking again, you will be see. I continue to say, among the countless scrolls are the works that defy era, theses, theorems, and discoveries from across multiple timelines, transcending anything you expected to find. You are quickly reminded that this library is not just a repository of the ancient world, but also a stronghold of the powerful multiversal faction of the Sumerian kings. So this knowledge stored here is not just the knowledge of the ancient world. What I may have failed to describe you as John, but Shavo would have in these 3 days that you have passed, is that the Library of Alexandria, and in particularity its first destruction, the one caused from Julius Caesar, is like a pinpoint, like a pin in space and time. If you are someone who is friendly with the Sumerian kings, you can always go to Egypt, always go exactly when the first, go back to the layers of Nether where the first destruction came, and this is like a checkpoint, a safe point for all Sumerian kings and all friends of the Sumerian kings. With that in mind, the scrolls that you can see on your left and your right, and you can read and you can click, doesn't only have secrets from the past, but also from other timelines and some pretty wild stuff. But I need you all to confirm that you can double click those books. No.
Don't see them. I did a refresh and I don't see them.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I tried refreshing and it's still not working.
Okay, all players observer.
You're in a different browser from everybody else, Chris? I'm on Chrome.
I'm using Opera.
You weirdo.
Opera is the one I'm using as well. Again, F5 refresh. Why not? Make another refresh.
It doesn't work on Chrome, it's not worth having.
Yeah, I'm on Chrome and it doesn't seem to have worked.
Same.
Chrome is also very good. So,
Well, it's the Opera user it worked for and the Chrome users it didn't work for, so there's a thing.
I've never even heard of Opera, so.
It's a
it
browser
might be
for
a
gamers.
not before like a browser thing. Might be a permission thing.
I've heard of Opera. I think it comes with iPhones, doesn't it?
No,
That's Safari.
that's Safari.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it is.
So you cannot click. So you don't see the book on the papyrus on the left. Like a book that you can click.
I see what looks like added scroll elements and stuff, but
Yeah.
you
You
can't.
can't click on it.
No icon.
I'm trying to think of solution right now.
Can you make Chris read it out for us in his nice Irish voice?
Oh!
So we know.
The journal notes button on the left, guys.
Oh,
have
what?
See your tabs on the left? One of them's journal notes, click it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So you go to your left, journal notes.
Oh,
so
okay.
much, and you
Okay.
click toggle notes display. Completely forgot about. It's the first thing I'm doing. This mechanic.
See them
of
now, yeah?
Foundry.
Yeah,
Just-
mine's got the
now
green
you
one.
should be able to see everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So click on any of those books that you want double click and will open like a catalog that you see. Imagine there are so many scrolls and this pinnacle, this catalog that's on the middle, like an Excel sheet of the past
Inventory.
that directs you to where you should go if you're looking for this and that.
Yeah.
You can find from ancient tragedies and comedies of the past and plays to philosophical, to scientific, to artistic, to almost magical, to technological, to medical, so much. What I would like to you, for our dear audience, I guess, Oliver, you're double clicking everything for our audience to see.
Yep.
But what I would like for you from everyone is to pick any of all those 8 catalogs that you want, any entry that you find interesting as your character, and just read it out loud for our audience sake, to build up some food for thought, for imagination. I will start randomly. I will pick this one and this one, the Codex of Celestial Mechanisms. It is a treatise on the movement of celestial bodies and the hidden forces that govern them, detailing advanced astronomical and astrological knowledge far ahead of its time. It includes formulas that predict cosmic events down to the minute, influencing everything from tides to the destinies of empires. As you can understand, it's not like words of fiction. It's like by the alignment of the sun and the black hole that is 3 light years apart, I know when there's going to be like this cataclysm or this profound discovery for humanity. And this is, you just read the titles or maybe the back of the book or something. You're not acquiring the knowledge, but it's fascinating just to contemplate. So give me like anything you find fascinating, share with me and the audience.
Oh, the complete works of Aristotle would be something that I would like to look at because although many of Aristotle's works did survive, it's believed that significant portions of his writings were lost in the destruction of the Great Library of Alexandria. So to be able to see the bits that no one else has seen, I would be straight in about that. The lost texts includes further works on biology, metaphysics, logic and politics that would have expanded Western philosophy and science. Biology particularly interests me.
The spirit of Eratosthenes goes next to you, Diego, when your eye caught that particular work, and that spirit says, when I was alive, I was a pupil of Aristoteles in my youth. And a funny story is that he called me Vita. It's like B in your language. And what he meant with that is because I had this tendency of never being perfect, an alpha in no discipline, no study. But I was Vita in all of them: philosophy, geography, architecture, religion. I was Vita in everything. So these are the lost works of my tutor Aristoteles, the tutor of Alexander the Great, the one that actually laid the foundations for this library in this city that we are upon.
Tina would be looking at the lost medical texts of Herophilius and Erasistratus, who were pioneering physicians in Alexandria, making advances in anatomy, physiology, and medicine, including early studies on the brain and nervous system. Their lost medical texts could have had profound implications for the development of medical science.
Maybe you find there some interesting information about how taste can be utilized to its fullest. They're not exactly talking about meta taste or something, but it is fascinating to you that some scholars have spent quite a lot of time to deduct the brain and the nervous system. I'm wondering how Hulk, which part fascinates Hulk in all of this?
So Hawk's kind of dyslexic. So when he read through the text, he's seen that there was the works of Zeno of Critium. So he thought that said Zorro, so that was his name. So he read more about it. So Zeno, just for anyone who's watching this part of the YouTube video, I am dyslexic, so I'm not making fun.
By the way, I'm dyslexic too. So dyslexic brothers for
Me
life.
too, I'm dyslexic as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody that watches this channel knows you're fucking dyslexic, Chris. You don't need to explain.
Wow. I've never met two dyslexic people at the same time. That's important for me. That's amazing.
So, yes, Zeno's early writings laid the foundation of Stoic philosophy, and yet much was lost. The fragments of Stoicism that survive are derived from later followers, so those lost texts could have deepened the understanding of Stoic principles such as the nature of the universe, virtue, and fate.
The ghost of Eratosthenes goes next to you and says, "It is a fabled story of Zeno of Citrium, that he used to be a wealthy merchant, and when he was traveling from the island of Chios to Athens, he placed all his treasures and marvels upon a ship, and that ship was wrecked by the will of Poseidon and the sea. And when he arrived, barely made it to Athens, but alive and unharmed nonetheless. All the scholars, the merchants, the nobles gathered around him and told him how he is going to survive this terrible tragedy that befell upon him. And thus Zeno began his Stoicism, saying that it doesn't really matter what destiny has laid before you. What matters is how you handling it. And maybe you exchange a little bit more about Stoicism and this new philosophy that probably Hulk has never heard about before and never contemplated. But he has suffered a lot. Hulk has. And maybe that kind of mentality would have helped him or will help him in the future. So it is interesting that you chose that. How about Mrs. Charming.
Well, Aurora's going to be saying, Hulk, Destiny's that thing that you don't have. It keeps disappearing, like slipping through your fingers. As soon as you get her. Should just say that. Yeah, Aurora's interested in the Tomb of the Forgotten Pantheon, a comprehensive account of deities worshipped by forgotten civilizations, detailing rituals, myths, and divine powers that have since faded from the collective memory. This tomb held the secrets to summoning or communing with these ancient gods, some of whom might still be lurking in the shadow corners of the multiverse.
Cthulhu. That's what that is,
You see many Slavic deities included there, and you see that some similarities. You know, there are some much like in D&D that there are portfolios. Let's say portfolio of travel. Portfolio of travel for Greeks is Hermes. For Egyptians is Gnosu or something like that. For Mercury for the Romans and so on. So you see that there are throughout. It's fascinating, and you do see parts of your culture and your ancestry, what your grandmother told you and taught you, actually not told you, and you're all fascinated because you just scratched the surface of an iceberg, and you know if you're gonna be spending time here, there's no depth to what you can find and what you can discover. With that in mind, out of game, how much time do you think we have for this session? How much time we have still?
I'm easy. I don't really have a limit.
As long as it don't go past midnight, I'm fine, yeah. So as long as we finish in at least 2 hours, I'm happy.
Yeah. I'd like...
Okay, I think we have plenty of time. It's going to be a nice session. So as you realize, you can spend so much time here. Actually, it is, let's go in character, and it is Cynthia of Samothrace. I love it that says Aurora of New Jersey. You killed me there.
It was a beauty lake.
It sounds epic, but it's not. You know. Cynthia says you can spend an entire lifetime here and more, but there are more things that you can find here. And if I am turns to the ghost of Eratosthenes, chief librarian, if I'm not mistaken, these Metanthropes came here in search of the magistrate. Yes, of course. Perhaps the magistrate would be in the Halls of Inventions. Follow me, says the ghost, and passes through Diego. Diego, do you want a reaction? Make a roll so this black flame wielding spirit won't pass through you.
Yeah. So what do you want me to roll for that?
Make reflexes. It's dangerous, I don't know, but you don't want make reflexes.
I've got
It's
4
gonna catch your
destiny.
hand and shoulders.
Nah,
One level
I'm
of fate is
re-rolling.
gonna catch you a bit.
Oh my days. Nah, I'm not
Gonna catch
using
a
any
bit of
more
your
destiny.
chest. Okay, let me
You can just
do
hurt me.
something.
Got 3 left.
So that one you roll to catch success. He did went through you for a bit. He's incorporeal partly, not fully, like phasing in and out. And as he was passing through you, you did feel part of his body to your shoulder and maybe chest.
Ew.
And for a moment, you thought that fate would not be on your side if you were located where he is. What I'm trying to say, out of game. Should I say it out of game? No, I think that's enough. But it didn't hurt you in any way.
Okay.
So this ghost is leaving this place, and unless Cynthia of some of Thrace too. And unless you want to stay and read, which you might have the chance to at some point, but the rest are leaving for now. You can return here, but at
I
some
would
point,
like to read,
there's
but we've got a mission.
so much to learn here. Yeah, for everyone, for all types of all tastes and interests. So the next one that is everyone following, by the way? Cool. The next one I'm gonna be taking you over is the Hall of Inventions. This one is right off the, not sci-fi exactly, maybe steampunk novella or something, because you do see on your left and right device. Again, let me double check. Journal notes. Do you see that, like chests instead of books on left and right, like little chests that you're gonna click in this area?
I'm gonna refresh because I currently do not.
It's not letting me
I've changed
change the
scene,
top.
yeah, maybe.
It's not even letting me change the. Oh, here we go.
No, I haven't given the permissions yet. You shouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
inventions, configure ownership, all players, observer save. I'm
Okay.
refreshing. Maybe you refresh too, and then you should be able to see wherever there's a device on this new map, there should be a chest that you can click. And if you move around, you also may be able to hear some sound effects too. As you enter, wow, something like totally made out of a
Yeah, I see them now.
science fiction of the past. It's really fascinating. Let me describe the following. As you enter this chamber, the entire atmosphere shifts. Speaking of atmosphere, Tina is feeling a lot of different sensations here. Electromagnetism, sound waves, hydraulics. It's a whole lot. It's not actually meta powers being activated, but there are area effects nonetheless, from sound waves to electricity to many other things that you wouldn't have guessed that you're going to be finding here. This room is nicely illuminated by big brassens, illuminating the entire area, and there are creations that blur the line between myth and science. Complex network of devices, from sound bass to lenses to pneumatic drills, water-powered musical instruments. Every invention here feels alive, as though it still holds energy and the brilliance of the minds who crafted them. Together they form a collection, a menagerie, if I may say, that spans ages and the boundaries of possibility. So there are many wondrous devices here. I guess you can all click them, right? So
Yeah,
tell me,
my character on the side to move it over and then click back to that journal thing.
come again, sorry.
So for me, I had to click that little person icon on the side to control my token to move close enough to one. And then I have to click the little journal note again for those chests to appear for you to actually click on it.
Okay, that's not bad for me, you know. As long as you can see them and you can open a journal, that's totally fine with me. So there are many different type of devices. Tell me if any, draws the attention of your character. We don't have to go one for each. If you say I'm just like a museum walking through and looking left and right, that's cool with me. I don't want to force you to read anything out loud if you don't want to or anything. But if something like, I see, for example, Hulk is drawn to a lens. It's not like a telescope, it's like a lens, like a microscope that has, this is like something that's a modern magnifying glass. philosophers and naturalists studies insects, plants, and other phenomena too small for the naked eye to observe clearly. Maybe you're drawn to this particular device because you yourself can turn, or you will be able to turn as small as an ant someday. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm drawn to that one.
Water.
Mm-hmm.
The clepsydra of Atlantis. This clepsydra or water clock is used in ancient world to measure time. The Atlantean version was far more advanced, harnessing the flow of water would not just to measure time but manipulate it, enabling to alter your perception of time. Fun fact, okay, out of game, from both the scrolls that you see before and stuff that you see here, something like half of it is based on historical facts and half of it on, my imagination based on whatever, it's on my mind. But I'm not gonna tell you what's which, because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because some look super sci-fi or whatever, ahead of their time, are actually what's considered to be lost in the Library of Alexandria, which is fascinating. How about who's next? Who's drawn to something? Is Tina starting to leak things? Haven't you leaked anything yet?
No, but the desalinator would probably be what she would be drawn to. So a device created to purify seawater using the sun's heat. The solar desalinator consisted of a series of glass panels and metal reflectors that focus sunlight into containers of seawater, evaporating the water and leaving behind the salt. The vapor would then condense into fresh water, providing a reliable source of drinking water for coastal settlements.
You're shocked to realize that, especially in ancient times, if this machine existed, it can allow, you can quench the thirst of everyone. It's basically turning sea into drinking water. It's massive. To be, in my naiveness as John, I'm not really sure if we have this technology today. I guess we have, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well,
I've done it.
I mean, you can desalinate water, but if you do start drinking the seawater, then you've got no sea left. Like, you need the sea. The sea needs to be there. That's what I'm thinking.
With a basin, a glass, cling film, and a stone. So the water evaporates to the top of the cling film.
Okay.
And then it drips into because you put the stone in the center, it drips on top of the glass.
Like real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real life.
In real life, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it,
This
yeah.
is like a much more sophisticated machine that can turn loads and loads of water from the sea to drink. Like, it can save settlements. It's powerful even for today's standards.
But if you drink the sea, then the sea dries up, and then all your fish are gone, and you can't eat. So it doesn't. I don't think
it's
it works.
It's gonna take a lot of drinking to drink the sea, though.
I'm just thinking logistically, it's not gonna work. Like, it's long term. This is not gonna work.
In the future, a lot of people, a lot of mouths to drink. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Long
How about
term,
Aurora? Which
not
of
viable.
these crazy devices draws the attention?
She's
Aurora?
looking at the sound-based one. She thinks it sounds interesting. About sound. Do you want me to read it out?
I can read it. You can read it. No,
Okay.
not. It's up to you.
You can read it. I don't mind.
I like this one. It's from Pythagoras, a mathematician of ancient Greece. It's like the music of the spheres, where the universe operated in harmony through mathematical ratios is expressed in sound. This harmonic engine could be a sound-based device capable of generating frequencies that can influence matter, space, or even the human mind. By playing certain notes, you can control gravity, even levitate objects, even influence other people.
Can she steal the
Wow.
machine? Can she steal the machine? Because I mean,
It's pretty big. All of those machines are like a steampunk being, with hydraulics and steam engines or whatever. So it's like easy to pickpocket or something. But you can try to
I might
lift it.
take pictures on my phone and then recreate it later.
If you try to use your phones like a book in this timeline, that
Remember,
you're under
everything
this-
turned into a 2,000-year-old version.
Yeah.
What about Tina's special doodah? Maybe she could do it. She's got that magic.
That would look like a magic oracle or sphere of oracle, in this timeline. The only device looks
Crystal
like
ball.
like a palantir from Lord of the Rings or something.
Okay, she'll just draw a nice picture of it, but she's very intrigued. And maybe she try and copy some notes down for like dancing
Yeah,
too. or
obviously you gather some notes, so much to contemplate and to ponder, but Cynthia insists to Eratosthenes and says, "Dear librarian, dear chief librarian, it seems
Tina
that
okay?
the magistrate is not here either. Maybe should we rush up on this very educational tour that we're having and go straight to see the magistrate, because the Metanthropes came a long road, traveled very far to come here." Yes, of course. Let us move on to the lectures, to the lecture areas.
Is Tina okay? Tino's got the zoomies.
Sensory pop rocks in here. He was describing it, and I can taste like the electricity and everything.
You're
So
bouncing
really
around the
like
place.
Are you like getting aroused by his like speech and stuff?
No, it's
Tina,
like-
I'm like, are you like
The
enjoying the
taste
sound of
on the
Netherlands?
air is like pop rocks to my soul.
Oh wow.
Is that the name of your biography? Pop Rocks to the Soul? Or a ska, or a
Oh,
ska,
wow.
or a ska band?
Nice.
Or a ska band.
both equally amazing. So I'm gonna take you directly to the
Pop rocks for the
first
soul.
area that you entered in the middle, and then you go down instead of up to the lecture area. So I'm opening a new
Ooh,
place.
look at this.
Oh, don't touch
And,
it.
there is a
Oh, no,
huge
Don't
He
touch it.
touched it. He
Oh.
touched it. I saw him. That's on camera.
Way.
He touched it. Make
You
him roll
went too
something.
close. No, I'm not gonna be so.
Martin, you
So
just want
mean.
Chris to suffer so bad, eh? I love it.
But as you enter this place, seems to be like a lecture space, but for some a lecture, like a round place, maybe there are some seats around, like a ancient Greek theater where you can sit. But I'm gonna change the music to understand where I'm going with it. There is a huge black flame here. It's not compared to the flames that you saw before. And as you pass on the other side, the corridors seem to be illuminated from sunlight. So you think if you go to the other side, you're gonna go outside. But as you pass this huge black flames that you don't want to be touched, you've heard
Take
a
a
lot
wide
about
berth.
weird stuff, like Diego is going on the long way around.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want you to make an awareness roll. Tina is trying to hide behind the corners, but you need to roll as well. Everybody rolled when you tried to cross.
Diego, you're
Tina is
useless.
successful. Diego is not.
Yes!
Hulk. Oh! Yes, Hulk made a soul-based roll successful. And
Oh,
Aurora. Ooh, Aurora is super. Oh, is she gonna spend one of her 20 destiny? Yes, 19
Yeah,
now.
Did you spend
Equally
another one?
bad.
No,
Is
I'm
it
not like you
fated?
guys. I'm not like you guys with your destiny running through your hands constantly every game.
Well, since
Okay,
you
let's
failed
start.
it, just touch it.
yeah, you could just be buried with all yours instead.
I'm gonna
Let's go with Aurora then. Let's go with Aurora.
I'm gonna dance into the flames.
No, it's not about you going into the flames. It's not like a physical thing. You go around, but let's
Okay.
start with Diego. The rest of you are fine. Diego, when crossing it, give me like 5 seconds. Maybe you briefly hear the roar of the crowd on like a huge stadium like Manchester United. I don't really know about stadiums in real
Old
life, but like
Trafford. That's Man United, yeah.
like something like
From Spain, so the Bernabeu or the Camp Nou.
maybe you hear the sound effect, maybe not, depends on how loud it was, like a cheer of the crowd. For a second you thought you were in a stadium full of 90,000 people, then you turn around and you just see the black plane. The rest of you go through it, there's nobody here, Kinthi as well, but it is Aurora who stays behind because she clearly hears the following. Goodness gracious, Aurora. What are you doing there, little child?
Love it. Okay, she's gonna go closer to the flame, but not too close. It's gonna be like, Ola! Just like shouts out a little bit into the flame.
You recognize, again, apologies to the audience and our Irish player, if the accent's not a point.
It was good,
Says,
mate.
goodness gracious, Roro. He says you Roro is your childhood name that only your grandma used. Where have you gone? Where are you now?
Yeah,
What
she's
are you
gonna.
doing?
She's like, are you okay? She's like, are you past? Aurora looks generally undisturbed by this.
Aurora is staying behind and she's kinda walking very close to the huge black flames. Anybody reacting to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna step back and go, grab her by the sleeve and just go, maybe not the best idea to be getting so close to that flame there, young lass.
Like,
No,
can you
no,
not see
keep
the? Can
walking.
you not? So can you not see the old lady in the flames? She's gonna
I
point into the flames. and
I see
if you
I
can
see the
it.
pretty colours. It's very mesmerising. Let's get you away from it. I don't think it's safe.
Go give her a hug. See what happens.
No, don't do
Let her
that.
have
Don't
a
do that.
taste.
I'm not gonna taste my own grandmother. That's like some different sight.
Don't leave me here, Oro. Don't leave me here. I don't want to be here.
The flames play tricks on your mind, Aurora. Come on, step away from it.
Like, Diego, can you not like levitate her out there? Can I not like? I don't know. My character would be pretty upset and into this,
Make a
so.
willpower roll. Make a willpower roll. Let's see how you're handling it. Make
Okay.
the awareness. Felt something,
I'm
but
gonna
how
roll.
you're handling it.
I'm gonna roll manipulation and give you a speech in a minute.
Would contested strength be like
You're,
an
you're,
hour
you're
roll?
getting ready your speech with the level of failure 1. So that's terrible, but you're spending destiny.
Fuck
Still
yeah,
1.
and
Still
five.
1.
Oh, that's a bit better. There you
Okay.
go.
Oh,
Five.
7.
From 9 to 5 to a 5.
Okay. Whatever I'm telling you and you're hearing it, you're stepping, you're stepping on your own feet. You're in charge. You're in control. And you don't see the flame, anything in the flames anymore. Neither you hear. You're certain that you did, but your determination says it was like a trap or something. And you can handle it now.
I'm gonna thank Diego for not letting me jump into the flames, and then I will be using my pheromones to control the other two party members at an undisclosed time. You guys probably will make out with each other when I choose to let happen.
Listen, you could have got pushed in there. We just didn't push.
I mean, Aurora's not telling you this. She's mentally telling Diego. She's like, I'm gonna fuck them up. But thanks.
I'm not a mind reader. He's totally said that out loud.
Yeah.
I move things
Oh,
in
well,
my mind. I'm not a mind reader.
She's like rubbing her head, but actually verbally saying it. But the rest of the guys would be too far away to hear
Yeah,
it.
she thinks
she can.
She thinks I read minds. You totally got my
Yeah.
power wrong, and you're like, Diego, I'm going to fuck them up later. I'm like, why are you shouting and why are you rubbing your head?
She believes it's true. She's
Nah,
true,
Aurora is in control, and you can all move ahead, although very cautiously, not to leave any member behind. But Aurora cannot help but to look behind, and even though Was it a hallucination? Was it? You did feel, to be fair, that it was a voice of your grandma, and she was worried about you and what you're doing here. Whatever
Yeah,
that
she's,
is.
she's gonna take one of the flowers out of her hair and kind of like throw it into the flames as like an offering to her
Nice.
grandmother.
It stays in the flames. It doesn't burn, but just becomes black, and it's interesting to see it this way. So as you go to the next room and final for today, the scene changes. So what means that those buffs that lasted for 20 minutes or so end now. That's a bad news. The good news is that you receive further destiny to spend.
Hey.
So let me go
Good,
through.
that was
let
on
me
about
pause
3.
real quick. Go through the macros, scene tool, not scene tools, actually session tools, and end of scene. And artisanal. Let's go with 1. Protector. Diego, you did try to protect the others around you, and you did flicker Eratosthenes' hair, so maybe you weren't so much suppressed. I'm just going through my thought process out loud.
No, I was,
Hulk.
because that's why I only flicked his hair. I tried to do something subtle that other people wouldn't notice. That was a suppressed use of my
No
power.
need to convince me otherwise. It's still 2. Hulk, you didn't bring your heritage much. Maybe you have failed that role that you were happy that succeeded. You have seen someone from your past. You know, some roles that you need to fail, you succeed, and vice versa. 1 destiny. And tiramisu, only 1. So it's only Diego that got the 2 destiny. So no need to worry about that. So only 1 or 2 destiny you gained. This was a small scene after all. But you go outside. So you're in an outside lecture. This has 4 columns, but imagine that it is again like an ancient Greek theater with seats upon like a lecture area, although it does have a hole in the middle. That is the map that we're going through right now. But there are also chaotic left and right, many black flames. It doesn't seem like like someone is controlling it on brazens and stuff, or in a huge fire in the middle of a lecture. This seems like
Wildfire.
whatever the nature of these black flames are, this is unhinged, this is uncontrolled, this is chaotic, this is everywhere. You need to be aware. Let's start with a perception or awareness roll. Up to you, different outcomes. Perception is more my senses, awareness more my intuition. I know you're gonna roll whichever is higher, but I'm just saying.
Obviously. Does they make a
When you're
difference
giving
when I roll like
options,
that?
Perception or
Awareness.
Or awareness. Awareness is more like intuition, instincts. Perception is what I can see, hear, and see. And stuff. Okay, unless you spend any destiny. I see Tina barely failing, Hulk failing, and Diego failing a bit more. Aurora is the only one that's successful in this whole thing. So Aurora, and Aurora rolled perception. Aurora, I'm gonna give you that you see. Fuck, you're the one successful, right? Yeah, it's perception. You see blood. There is blood dripped in many locations on this map. Maybe visible to your real life eyes, but that doesn't matter. The rest of you didn't really quite catch it. Aurora, once you get to maybe you even smell it, you know. There's blood spilled. Let's say as your pheromones, you know, because your buff just ended, but as you exit, you smell that it was like blood from humans or Metanthropes. I'm not gonna give you for free what it was right now, because it's just 2 levels success, but you were successful, whereas everyone else wasn't, and they didn't fail so spectacularly, so there's no...
Can I warn them, like, when I
thing.
sense, like, blood, like, tell them to, like,
Sure.
maybe watch out that there's something's going on. But like, Hulk, maybe you want to get big now.
Is anybody reacting? Is anybody getting big? What's up?
Can I
Yeah, but
snake tongue the air and
Getting my powers ready just in case.
Yeah, remember that the taste the atmosphere and detect pheromones ended because
Okay.
the
Can
sun
I
has ended.
can I
You can
activate?
reactivate.
Can I reactivate both my powers? Because I have to do both of them, or will I have to like wait for one to happen and then do the other one?
Yeah, let's say that you spend your first tiramisu, taste the atmosphere. Remember to click the taste the atmosphere button C for the next 9 minutes. Detection area effects. You detect the black flames, obviously. They are visible with your eyes, but you can sense them also. Besides the black flames, there's something more. Besides the black flames, one level of success is not much, but you realize that around the center, when Aurora says that there is blood around, you didn't see quite the blood just yet, but it requires further investigation, but you're onto something. I'm gonna give you just that because it was only one level of success, but you're onto something. Aurora detect pheromones, 3 level of success. The buff still says on. I didn't remove it. And
Okay,
you're
cool.
most definitely that your you know, there's like at level 5 you will be able to detect necromones, pheromones of dead organisms. You're not there yet, but you feel glimpses of that, and for whatever reason I'm gonna give you that you feel the blood of, okay, I'm gonna say whether it's a Metanthrope or a human, you don't know yet, it requires further investigation, but there is someone recent fresh blood here and you know that. Who else rolled anything?
Oh, I did the
None.
I did the tree one as well, so I can sense if there's trees and plants.
Okay,
That's just so it works.
unfortunately no trees and plants on this particular area.
It's very dark
None of
sun, this map.
importance. They are very stone masonry and blood and stone, you know. No plants.
I'm gonna warn everyone again then that there's someone possibly being killed recently.
can I do remote taste of the blood near the center to try and identify the organism it's in
To
relation
be fair, you haven't really seen it with your own eyes. You know, you need to go a little bit closer. You didn't roll perception. You went to your awareness. Let's say that if you go, maybe you will hear something. That's the ego. You haven't moved yet.
Can
That's
I
Tina.
point her in the right direction because of the pheromone thing? Like, say I think
Yeah,
it's over there
I
to
think
help.
Hulk will be able to hear something. Do you hear something, Hulk? Or Chris, rather, maybe like. No, maybe one more step down towards down.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a sound effect that he can hear when he moves his character's token?
It's depending on where you sit, you might hear something. And right now, out of game, this is total out of game. I'm saying that Chris and Diego right now should be hearing something. Let's see where our friend Tina is. Tina, make a perception roll. This is more perception based rather than anything else.
It's just real
Excellent.
success
Tina,
after
you
success.
see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blood pools around. And once you cross an area, let me double check. You're just outside of it. Let me say, just move one hexagon down, please, Tina. And you might also, no, down, like down, not left. And one, let me, you're so close, one left. I'm gonna push you. Maybe you hear something now? you start to hear moaning. And suddenly, let's say next to Tina, something appears.
Oh,
It's wearing clothes appropriate to the era. It's let me double check.
is that the ghost
It
of
appears
Hitler?
to be a woman that is dark skinned, but it is through her mouth that black flames are coming out. And she goes back. She hits the pillar next to you. And this is when the rest of you see that thing. And says with an echo on her voice, "Oh, betrayed, 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 betrayed." Reactions?
Snake tongue the the air next to the blood pool that I'm near.
You want to do what?
I want to try and identify organism.
You can, but since the organism is not currently alive, you're gonna right-click the icon and put a 20 penalty on the penalty. It's gonna be a challenging roll. Well, you made it. So activate organism, and let me tell you the results. Have meta taste, 4 levels of success, identify organism. Even dead, you realize that it was a Metanthrope who has died. And since you can also identify conditions, you realize it has been poisoned to death. That's maybe you realize that's why maybe out of its mouth black flames are coming out. The rest of you, as Tina is still requires 1 full minute, or kind of like a minute of concentration, or like 30 seconds to be exact. The rest of you, how do you react to this thing?
Is this thing
appearing? I don't
attacking Tina?
No, it's not
Just
attacking.
shouting at her.
It is aggressive, it is enraged, but it didn't attack Tina. It did attack the pillar behind it. It hit the wall and said, "Betrayed, betrayed, betrayed, betrayed."
I mean, as long as it's not attacking Tina, I'm not too concerned. But I'm going to start moving closer, because Tina's in a kind of trance state just now while she activates her power, so she's kind of like not able to move or anything, is she? So
With remote taste, though, it says without the need for a full minute of concentration and focus, rather a few seconds instead.
Holy hell! I don't know my game. Let me double check. Remote taste. Does it drop your activation?
you wrote these rules, John.
Yeah. So many meta powers, man. Instead of a full minute, it's like 30 seconds. It's a big difference in action scenes, but it still requires, focused action. Like
So I'm still going to try and step closer to Tina in case this thing tries to attack her. I'm not going to shove her out the way just yet, but I'm going to be ready to.
Yeah. Cynthia says to Aurora, "I sense the spirits of the damned haunting this area." And then this arranged spirit goes on the same hexagon, like the same 2 meters within Diego. Diego senses that helplessness, that destiny, that fate has forsaken me sensation that he sensed when the Eratosthenes went through him, which translates it into that you cannot spend any destiny when this thing is sharing the same hexagon as you are. That catches you from the clothes, but it's incorporeal, so maybe one is cuts, the other passes through your clothes and says, "Oh, we've been betrayed, 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 and dead." And Hulk, you hear some moaning just behind you, and you see another one, a male one, holding like the column, desperately with like a full desperation and sadness on his face, looking at you and says, black flames coming out of his mouth and maybe nostrils.
I approach. Oh, fuck, Jesus! If I approach it, it gets lighter. When I approach it, I'm like, lad, don't touch me. You're on fire. But was it the guy that I'm looking for that's here?
I'm on
Did
fire?
he do this to you? Yeah, you've got fire coming out of your mouth. Did you eat chili or something?
I was celebrating a breakthrough. What fires? I'm not on fire. Who are you? Get away from me.
Oh, don't you touch me. You're fucking freaky
Don't
fire.
you touch me.
You said there were 7 of these?
Phase? Of what? Says that enraged thing next to you, that woman. 7? 7? 7? 7? 7 of what? Says and hits the column again.
I'm gonna look to the others and explain that I think these are the 7. Yep. Okay,
So
we're
they're
all
not
on the same
splatters.
page.
And they've been
I'm
murdered.
Comes up Diego again in my head, telling her, speaking.
You don't have telepathy. You can't.
I know, but no, I think I do, so I just talk.
He looks
but
at me and
my
rubs his head. She looks at me and rubs her head. Diego, can you hear me? I'm like, yeah, fucking everybody can hear you. You're shouting.
I just shout out, I'm telepathic, and then just shout out.
Diego, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can all hear you.
Oh my god. Yes, and what do you say to Diego with your telepathy?
Well, I'm just like, well, someone's killed them. Then there's a few creepy people here with like shit coming out of the mouths. Maybe have to get ready to defend ourselves. I'm looking at
There's another one over here.
The lady next to me, because does she doing anything weird? The witchy lady next to me.
Cynthia.
Is she concerned? Is she like?
Yes,
looking...
she's alarmed, but says there is another one, by the way, arriving and says,
I saw this one.
"Dead? Killed us? What killed us?" Cynthia says, these must be the Arriven souls that have recently joined Ether. They must have recently died.
So seeing this other one spawn and knowing that other one doesn't want to talk to me, I go over and say, "Here, do you remember how you died? Because you've recently died."
I recently died. Let's see how it takes it. Oh fuck, with the bones. No. So it just grabs you again.
Oh.
You feel that face is no longer on your side when this thing is sharing your space. And says, "But I'm alive! I'm alive!" You cannot spend any destiny. Not that you have many much destinies.
So, with them grappling me, can I fight to push that away?
You can do a lot of things physically because you're like a fully athletics person. You can do all the maneuvers imaginable from evading, jumping,
Suplex,
jumping above them. You can do whatever you want. You can do a suplex.
Fucking yeet
It's up
over
to
the
you.
shoulder.
RKO out of nowhere.
I RKO out of nowhere, mate. Exactly.
Just go. Don't touch me. That's it. Like, not even slapping them. Slapping my own hand to move them out of the way. You know.
You're not like attacking, right? You're like
No.
reflexes more so. Yeah, you're evading.
I'm
No
evading.
reflexes.
I'm not
no
attacking.
reflexes. Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Had to be reflexes, didn't it? Couldn't be that power that I have 100 on. No.
Oh, came
Yeah.
That'll
Super
Wow, 5 levels
successful.
of success.
Super. Like you almost see yourself like jumping on the ropes.
The
Going to
breakdance
the
pop
left and
walk
avoiding
move out
like
of the
someone
way.
dropping on you. You're very familiar with these motions. This spirit, this Ariven or whatever it is, goes right through you. Momentarily, you felt this hopelessness. That is a weird word. That lack of hope, or that fate is no longer your side briefly. That is no longer occupying your space. Let me try one last time with the third one. And the third one is successful. The one on the top goes on the edge and says, "No, brothers and sisters, these visitors are right. We died. We are dead." And there's a little echo, not like Eratosthenes, who's not following you, by the way, for some reason. But they all seem confused, more so than anything. All three of them.
I want to look to Cynthia and say, are they always so confused, the Riven? It's always such
Who
a...
to Cynthia?
Cynthia, yeah. Then it's always such a traumatic experience for them. Do they never understand what's happened at first?
The Ariven most likely experience this confusion when they first die. But when the fires came, people were informed and there were no casualties. These are more recent deaths. They died more recently. Most recently, I would reckon.
Can I manipulate one of them to like calm down a bit? Like just talk to us because they seem a little bit distressed.
That's again your level 3 pheromones, which I don't think you have. You do? No, you have animate plants at level 3, not pheromones. So you cannot influence their emotion. Maybe you can just manipulate them, like old-fashioned manipulation, like.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Diego
meant.
does.
Just talk to them. Yeah, just talk to them, but try and calm
roll a
them.
manipulation accompanied with some roleplay, and let's see how it goes.
While he does, I'm going to look the person that he's talking to in the eyes, and I'm going to breathe really slowly. I just try and encourage them to follow my breathing.
Okay, seems pretty good.
Okay, accompanied with a bit of a roleplay because it's pretty good.
I guess she's just like her auntie was a little bit of a medium and stuff, so Aurora would have heard her talk to people that have passed, so she kind of would have seen this stuff, so she tries to go like calmly and like approach them like about like telling them that they're safe and everything and that they're here to help and can they see a light or anything, just like doing what her grandmother would have done to talk to them that they are an actual spirit, but without trying to upset them or condescend to them. Just trying to,
As
do
you
that.
say those things, you
I got
see
goosebumps
that
as
one
you
of
said that,
those
Martin. It was so
spirits is coming towards you calmly, but also from the black flames to your left or your right, maybe your left, maybe your right, or maybe this deep black flame that's way past this column. You hear a voice saying, "I'm proud of you, Aurora. You're doing a good job." And says the spirit, the one that's visible, continues and says, "You're right. We did die. we were celebrating discovery of Nether with the magistrate, and the magistrate brought wine. That's... What are you trying to say? Says the woman next to him. It died. What's that coming out of my mouth? She clings to Diego del Toro and says, maybe Diego make a willpower roll. She's like pretty constant and attacking you. That's not friendly for sure. You couldn't spend destiny even if you wanted to, but you can handle that source
Just
of
clicked who these people are.
melancholy coming your way.
I think I saw it click with Brew as well, who these 7 people are. These were the 7 new prospective Sumerian kings that the magistrate has recruited, and if they've been celebrating discovery of the Nether with them and then all died, he's poisoned them. The magistrate has poisoned these people.
You see them all very troubled when you say those things out loud. One more.
Oh, I never said that out loud. That was Oliver thinking out loud, mate.
No. This cannot be. We spent decades. He spent decades teaching us stuff. Why would she kill us?
You've discovered something.
What's wrong with my voice? What's going on?
You've discovered something he didn't want you to discover, and he's murdered you.
Where is the magistrate?
Yeah, where is Meiji boy? Where is he at?
They seem to be conflicted, and
Well, one of them's calmer, isn't it? One of them is a little bit calmer than the rest.
yeah, this one like, how do you ping? Anyway,
one
the
right
one
in
that's
front
in the
of
middle.
Aurora.
It's
Yeah,
It's
I was talking. He's a bit calmer than the rest, so maybe we talk to him.
US
About the
is
magistrate?
whereas in French, by the way. US le magistrat.
If I die, if I am dead, and all the things that I've studied, I have become. No. Closes his mouth as if he's trying still to prevent it. He's struggling. No. But I have such a bright future ahead of me, thousands of years of knowledge and leading mankind. That's what I've been promised. That's what I've been told. What now?
I'll sort that for you. Just tell us where the magistrate is.
After my heartfelt conversation, you just roll that out to the undead.
If we don't find the magistrate, all that knowledge, all that studying you did is going to be lost forever and won't be shared with anyone, because that's what the magistrate's trying to do. He's trying to bury your knowledge. So please help us find him so that we can get your knowledge to the future generations and you won't have died in vain.
I know what you spirits want. You want vengeance. If you tell us where he is or she is, we will get you vengeance so that you can rest peacefully.
No, we will get your knowledge shared with future generations. I don't think it's all about vengeance.
Just kill him.
Vengeance!
Okay, how about whoever wants to roll? If you all do, I'm gonna take collectively your outcomes. Whoever wants to roll manipulation can add to the result. For example, if one rolls 3 levels of success and one rolls 2 levels of failure, it's gonna be only 1 level of success. So collectively, roll manipulation, and the outcome is gonna help the ghost to remember it, because they're not trying to conceal the truth, but they're finding difficult to remember. So who's gonna roll manipulation?
I'm going to roll it.
Anyone can. Anyone can.
I've got a
We can all do
51.
it. I've got 80.
-1 from Diego.
I'm using my destiny. No, I'm using my destiny. Come on.
No
Come on.
negative result.
Come on.
0 from Diego. No. It's okay. So Aurora, up to you, unless Diego spends another destiny. Aurora, 1 level of success.
Come on.
Yeah, I'll roll destiny to make it
Oh,
worse.
There we
Diego
go.
+2.
Oh, no. Diego did better than me, I think.
Aurora plus
Okay.
1, so you just have plus 2
Nah,
from Diego.
I'm gonna do
Aurora's
another
gonna-
one.
Yes, Martin.
That's
Yay!
it. Yeah.
I've got loads of
That's a total of
destiny.
80. So what you do is you give 80 bonus percent to that spirit, and that one that's more talkative. I remember now. We're here. Was it a fortnight ago? Was it more? But we were pupils of Magistrate Akkadi and Menlu Agna. He was so kind to us. He taught us so many things about Metanthropes, about the conductors and the Vil, about their lies and deceptions. He told us that he felt that there was a way out of this, that this entire timeline was a prison for him. It was not his own timeline. We were here celebrating. He turns back into the void in the middle. The vortexes, yes, the vortexes. The magistrate discovered that wherever mass death occurred, vortexes that can amplify your travel through Nether further, much further back in time can occur. But it needs to start with one. He looks around the blood, all the places that there's blood. One must murder in order for this vortexes to begin. So he killed us to begin his descent.
Sounds like a good lad, this magistrate.
Yeah. Could see why he went rogue.
Just above table? How did I know we were gonna have to go fucking deeper?
Yeah. So the vortexes are caused by blood. You need blood to open them up.
It's not blood, it's death itself.
Death
Blood
itself.
was not enough.
Ooh. Okay.
But we all celebrated, we all drank wine on the same time, and he looks to the two others of its kind, died at the same time. No, says the one that's enraged and clinging upon Diego, and the other one indeed is clinging upon Hulk. Hulk was extremely reflex, had the agility to evade before, so I guess you kind of still have, step away from it.
Get out.
And then
Do we perceive that a void is still open, or that there's any
with your tasty environment, you maybe, and if you fully zoom into your VTT on the middle of the map, now that you've been told you have this bonus to edit, you do see an area effect invisible to the eye, the others won't be able to see it, that has some cosmic properties. You can't see anything else, so maybe it's like a well, but without someone to be able to open gates to Nether. Actually, let's say that Cynthia says that even if these vortexes exist, without having someone to open gates to Nether, we won't be able to enter them. I'm very sorry for the loss of your kind here, but perhaps Eratosthenes should be. And then a loud, thundering voice echoes throughout this area that you're located upon. You cannot really locate where the voice is coming from, but it's deep, highly charismatic and thunderous, and says,
"Much like Orpheus, much like Persephone, you two have descended into the underworld seeking answers, and answers you shall find."
and with that, I shall end today's session. Thank you everyone for joining us for Metanthropes Anthologies episode 3. I have been your host and editor, John. Subscribe and hit that notification bell on RxOliver's channel, and hopefully without any cancellations, stuff like that, we will see you again soon in 2 weeks time. Thank you to this amazing cast of amazing actors that we had, and hope you enjoyed this first descent into the underworld and to the Nether.